What's up? Good Sunday evening to all of you. A lot of comments already come into the chat. What is up? Look at my awesome two guests right now here. Hold on, everybody. I know that you're expecting Mike. There's Mike, the big man. I know that you guys were wondering, you're expecting him to be my guest tonight, and of course, he is and will be. But of course, you're also, I'm sure, wondering what the hell is Jeffrey Juan Kenobi doing here on the side and now in the front. So Jeff's got a couple of things he wants to run, and he asked me if I could help him out with that. And of course, I'm always too happy to do it. Before we get into it, though, Jeff, if you don't mind, I got a couple of things I wanted to say. So everyone, first, I wanted to bring up the let me give my thanks first of all to here. Let me pop it up here. Shout out to my newest sub, Monkey God 2024. He's the latest, so thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And also want to let you guys know that one of the reasons, it's not really the reason that Jeff is here, but it's just coincidental. I thought I'd also let you know that tomorrow night, if you guys have some time, let me put this up for you. There's going to be an art hang on Kavi H's channel with Jeff Wedding and artist Eric Fidel. And it's going to be a Star Wars related art hang. And there will be a live art giveaway. So that'll be a lot of fun. So check that out. And Jeff, I believe that's at 7 o'clock Eastern?
Correct.
7 Eastern?
7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Or Pacific, okay.
Yep.
So perfect. So yeah, check that out if you can, guys. And before I jump into the chat and look at the comments, I am gonna hand it over to Jeff and let him do what he's got to do. And take it away, Jeff.
Well, 2 quick announcements, and then a little aside. I saw Mr. Easy Go Lucky's comment in the chat about going to 5 hours. So I figure, if Michael decides to tap out after 3, then I could just jump back in. And carry the ball. I think no one wants 5 hours. But
well, we almost made 4 last week, right? So
that's true. So yes. You never know. It can happen.
Yes.
So initially I was going to come on because May the 4th, Star Wars holiday. Last year I gave away some free Star Wars art, so I'm doing it again this year. So this will be the 3rd show I'm hopping on to give away a Star Wars page. And as Rubén mentioned, there'll be one more tomorrow with Kavi, where we're going to do a Star Wars sketch cover that Eric did, and Eric's going to jump on and chat with us. So we'll get to the art in a second, but to have sort of a down moment at the beginning, speaking of Star Wars art, Dan Parsons, longtime inker on Star Wars comics when the Dark Horse had the license, and has done stuff for Marvel and Dark Horse and everybody under the sun, found out a little over a week ago that his 18-year-old daughter, away on her first year of college, was diagnosed with cancer. So the family is doing a fundraiser to help raise funds to help cover the chemo costs and to help with the family covering bills and stuff while everyone's taking time away from work in order to help take care of her. So Rubén is going to drop the GoFundMe link in the chat.
Already done.
If you have a few extra bucks, would really appreciate it. It's going to a good cause. Again, we all have our own bills and stuff to take care of, so no one stretch if you don't have it. But if you do, would really appreciate it. Would help out with Dan and his daughter and the family in this time that just sort of came out of nowhere they weren't expecting. One of those bumps in the road of life. So that's the downer announcement that we will get out of the way here early. But then also doing a Star Wars art giveaway today on the show. So donated a page. I believe Rubén has a slide.
I definitely do, sir. I definitely do. And yes, please, for For those of you who can't, sorry to go back to the first announcement, but even $5, $10, whatever you can donate. Cancer is always horrible, but not to pick favorites, obviously, you know, when it comes to things like cancer, but you know, when it hits an 18-year-old kid, it just seems that much worse, right? So if you can, I'd appreciate that too. Or if you guys do social media, maybe take that link I popped in and maybe grab it and put it in your social media. And just FYI, as a reminder, it's for Dan Parsons' daughter. Dan Parsons is a comic book artist, for those of you who don't know. So there you go. So thank you. Sorry to interrupt again. So as Jeff was saying, so he's going to be giving away, for those of you who did not notice on Nikki B's show on Friday, he did a giveaway of some original art, and he will be doing it again tonight with me, and again as well on Coffee's channel with Coffee tomorrow. So this guy's the veritable Santa Claus right now in the month of May when it comes to Star Wars. Always a wonderful, giving and generous member of our community. So as all of you guys and gals already know that about Jeff anyways. But yeah, so let me show you guys what he's...
Well, Ruben, I know you and Michael have been in the game long enough that, you know, OA karma is a real thing. So,
sure.
You know, every once in a while, you know, you find out you've got something that you're not super attached to that, you know, someone else would be. You cut them a deal. You know, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, makes the community and makes it fun for everybody. So,
yeah, exactly. Well said. Okay, so everybody, this is the art that Jeff is so generously giving away today at some point later in our show. Now, I want you guys to know that, you know, as most of you know, I've never had a time limit on my episodes. It just goes to whenever it's sort of, you know, starting to get a little bit long in the tooth, and or when people start dropping off substantially. But I did want to say, I did not discuss this with Jeff beforehand, so he's hearing this for the first time. Given that this is my channel, if it's okay with Jeff, I would like to institute one single simple rule for this giveaway, and that be that you, in order to win this, you need to be here when we do the draw. I would like, in other words, I would like the person who wins anything on my site. Whenever I've done freebies in the past, giveaways in the past, you know, I think it's preferable to me, since I'm not out there, as you guys know. I'm no longer out there banging the drum to get subscribers. I don't care about that. So that doesn't benefit me. So I would like it if the freebies go to the people who support these channels, rather than some random Joe Schmo who comes in only to try to win something for free. I don't know. That's how I feel about it on my channel. Jeff's already put you on the spot, but what is your...
no worries. It's your show, and that sounds like a reasonable rule. So
okay.
Yep.
So there you go, guys. So you can win this page for free. It's from Star Wars Knight Errant Deluge, #2, page 16 by Ivan Coelho. Original blue pencils, by the way, for those of you who still don't know, those are original. It's just blue graphite, not...
That's right. It is blue pencil on the board. It is not digital work that is then printed in blue ink onto the board.
Exactly.
It creates the same effect in the production process, but that's hand-drawn blue pencil on the board.
Yes, and sticking to what I was just saying earlier. So I would like it for, if you stick around tonight. If you can't, then maybe you shouldn't enter. I don't know, but what I'd like to do is, I don't know for sure yet when we'll do the draw. It'll be later in the show, but you got to be here. So once we do the draw, taking into account the fact that there's like a 10-second delay before our broadcast reaches your screens. We'll wait like 20 total seconds kind of thing to give, 10 seconds for the delay, another 10 seconds for you guys to kind of reply and say, oh, thank you, or whatever. Like, acknowledge that you're here and that you're the winner. If you're not here, if the first person we draw is not here at that point, I apologize, but we will draw somebody else we'll keep drawing until somebody is here. And that's it. Yeah. So if that's okay with you, Jeff.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, sounds good.
And I think you have a hashtag figured out.
Yes, and this is what thank you very much. So
which is much shorter than the one that Nick used on Friday. So I'm going to save everyone a little bit of typing.
so much shorter. Oh, so much shorter. All right, so let me pop this up on the screen, guys and gals. So if you want a free original art, check out the scrolling ticker on the bottom of this of the screen there. All right, it's pretty clear cut. So if you want free original art, just enter hashtag, and you can start this right away, everybody. By the way, you can start this right away. Yeah, so enter hashtag Star Wars. So that's about as simple as you can get.
Star Wars.
Yeah, hashtag Star Wars all together. And that's it. And then later on in the show, yeah, we'll at some point. Well, Jeff will probably come in, and if he steps out, he'll be back, and he'll give me the cue, and I'll know that that's he'll pop back into the studio, and that's when I know we'll postpone Mike's show and tell to come back and do that, And Star Wars Forever ain't gonna work, my friend. Okay,
but it sure sounds good.
It sure does. And okay, so I'm just double checking, everyone, and I do see that the just so you guys all know that the entries are being collected as we speak. I see 7 so far, so I know there's many more still to come in. So keep entering that, everyone. I guess I'll keep the scrolling ticker at the bottom for a little while, and I may remove it and bring it back later.
And I'll try to jump in the chat and drop a reminder in the chat periodically between now and the time we do the drawing. So,
okay, sounds good. Hey, Kavi says that I admit that I will not be around for the live drawing as I'm meeting up with a friend in 45 minutes. So I'll use the wrong hashtag too. Star Wars Forever. All right. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. So
thanks for stopping by, Kavi.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, and have a good dinner with your friend, by the way. CJ. Jeff Wedding is the best.
Actually close to the one I suggested for today.
We'd have like maybe 2 people because everybody would get it spelled wrong somehow.
That's right.
It's not even really that it's too long and the laziness. It's that everybody would try and just get it wrong at some point, So that's it. Anything else that you want to move out there, push out there, Jeff, at all? Or?
No, I think we've covered the ground, and the giveaway is rolling. And I'm sure Michael's got great stuff coming up. I'm familiar with his gallery and his collection, and got to hang out with him when he came up for Amazing Vegas last year. Just wanted to let you know you didn't really miss anything this year. It was pretty much the
same size.
Yeah, unless you wanted to drop a lot of money on Adam Kubert art, that was the big difference. So, but I think that's a little out of your wheelhouse. So
I think so.
Yeah. And everyone will see that as you start getting into some of your show and tell. So I'm going to drop out. Ruben, I'll pop back in later.
All right.
And everyone enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
See you in a bit. There we go. And let me do this so they're all equal. What's up, Mike?
All right. We're equals.
Wow, 14 minutes before you get to say your word. Speak your piece, bro. How you feeling? You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So everybody, please give a nice warm welcome to my friend Mike NSNart, who has the NSNart.com, a website where he represents how many artists, Mike?
I don't know, probably like 10. About 10.
Oh, is it even that much? Wow.
I mean, it's pretty slow,
Well, guys, it's an eclectic mix of artists. It's certainly not what you would think of as mainstream,
right.
But as you'll see tonight, a lot of different eclectic selections of pages that we're going to show tonight. So it'll give you some of the stuff. Will give you kind of an idea of what you can find on Mike's site. And also, as always, please go right down here below or right under the description of this video, and you can see not only Mike's calf gallery, direct link as always, but a direct link to to the website. So that's the other one. But also, we'll get to it later. But there's a third link there to YouTube. Back here to YouTube. He does have a small YouTube channel, and yes, yes. One of the pieces that we'll be showing tonight is the reason I put the link to his YouTube channel, and it's a direct link to that video. But hey, if you want to cheat and check it out now, make sure it opens up in another window or whatever, and check it out now if you want. You'll see what it is, but it's pretty cool. So yeah. So before we get to the first piece, and thank you everybody for dropping in. Really appreciate you guys as always. Yeah. Before we get into the first piece, and yeah, look at that, Jeff. Back in the chat and out of the hot seat. It's much more comfortable when you're surrounded by everybody else, right, Jeff? Hey, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Yeah, sorry guys. I know. I figured we have all these promo things to do tonight on this episode, so I haven't had the time to sort of go through all the chat, and there's been way too much chat for me to start from the top. But so I give a hearty welcome and hello to all of you in unison. How about that? And I hope you forgive me for not doing it one at a time like I always do. But thank you, appreciate it. Hearts. I figured Hart would be here to give you grief. Mike needs to gift me his little Lucy story he has. I don't even know what you're talking about, but is that in your gallery, Mike?
Yeah, I think he's probably talking about issue 72 of Lucifer.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh, is he talking? Is this kind of some cartoon thing like Little Lulu, but it's Little Lucy?
No,
okay.
Dean Ormston.
Oh, no, another Ormston thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so before we get in, I just wanted to chat a little bit, if you don't mind, particularly given the fact that, you are more of what I call an eclectic collector, not what we call mainstream by any means, although we will be showing some pieces tonight that do qualify as mainstream, certainly. Yeah. But for the most part, you're more of an alternative type, indie type collector. So I'm just curious, was it for you? Was it always like that? Because I don't remember, but I feel like my memories are that, at least for a very long time, like many years, my memories are that you kind of were into this stuff. But I guess I'm just wondering was there a time when you first entered the hobby where you also, like most of us who were kind of like mainstream first and then discovered the indie stuff? Or were you always pretty much like a Vertigo indie-ish type guy?
Yeah, to me, as mainstream as I get, it would be Vertigo. So even though I'm in the same age group as you, but yeah. I didn't start reading comics until I was like 19 or 20.
Oh, wow.
I had 4 books as a kid that I got from my older brothers.
Yeah.
So I don't have that nostalgia drive that a lot of other collectors have.
Okay.
Or my nostalgia doesn't go as far back. Okay. So when I first started collecting, I got my first page, which was a Preacher page. And I think it's in the group. So to me, that was when I figured out, I can buy these, and then that was it. And then everything was just a cost thing of, I can get this Preacher page for X dollars, or I can get this. I didn't even really look at the superhero stuff because I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, that's a very, quite a different story from the majority of us, right? Who came in, let's say, at least, roughly a decade younger than you did, right? So we always have that, it's kind of it makes sense that kids will be attracted to the colorful costumes, right? So the heroes, so that makes a lot of sense. But if you're coming in at 18, 19, 20, and you're basically graduating high school or already in college, I can see how that could be something where, you know what I mean? It's different, right?
Yeah. Well, and then to me, since I like Vertigo, it was, at the time, a Vertigo cover could be anywhere from $800 to $1,500, depending on the cover. And then that's the same price as a superhero page. I'm like, do I want a painted cover?
Yeah.
Or do I want this page again, which I'd much rather have the painted Vertigo cover than a black and white hero page.
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly. That's not the norm, but you're also certainly not a rarity in the hobby either, you know. So that makes total sense to me. Marcus is just curious. He's you know what, Marcus? You never know what to expect. He wants to know why your wall's so bare. He's bitching you out. Look at that. You're covering some of the stuff. Yeah, we'll take a closer look at that stuff later.
And like, I have more than just one wall in my house. So for those wondering.
That's just where his acoustics are better, Marcus. What, you know, that's all that's about. So, okay, cool, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Mike. Okay, so you want to start off the show and tell and get into the first piece?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. So let me get back in here where all the images are. And I naturally, for those of you who know Mike, or at least know of him, to a lot of people in the hobby, he is known as the preacher guy. Even though that's not all he collects.
It just happens.
but that's you know, that's just it's how you're known. You know, people pick up sort of reps, I guess, and yeah, that's the rep you picked up, I guess. You know, but
it could be worse.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And to be clear, everybody, you are not going to be, you know, for better or for worse. I'm sure some of you would want it to be this way, but we are not going to be looking at and showing, you know, 20 different preacher pages. Preacher will be represented, but yeah, it's the minority, not the majority. All right. So we're going to see, like I said, an eclectic bunch of stuff. So yeah, it'll be more interesting that way to everybody. Hart, this is another. Hey, listen, I've said it before. I've always got my channel set to. It asks me, you know, is this content for children? And I always mark it no. So I guess you could say it's an adult show and tell. Yeah. But then again, Wes, you have a point sometimes, right? Very often it feels like there aren't any adults in this room. So yeah, you never know. It depends on how you look at it, I guess. That's funny. Hart, he can't have your rep. You don't have a rep. Let me see. I thought I had them, then someone blew me away last 8 seconds. $24 a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. So you're probably answering somebody else there, number one Marvel fan. And Marcus says that plain walls remind me of plain white unmarked van. Oh,
that's as close as I'll get to Hart's rep.
Rick, if I had more money, I'd be known as the Frazetta guy. Would you? Wow. Is that what you would tackle if you had unlimited funds? Wow. Hey, somebody told me, I think somebody mentioned, is it true that the cover to the Molly Hatchet album is coming up for sale at Heritage? You guys should know this. Frazetta's Molly Hatchet cover, I was told, was being auctioned at Heritage. Yeah, let me know. That would be cool to watch. That should be interesting. And you you don't resent it, you resemble that remark. Exactly. Yes, that's right, Marcus. Thank you. Yeah, that is the new rep he's got now. He's the van guy. He's that salacious van guy. Exactly. Okay, Dark Kingdom is up for sale. Dark Kingdom. Okay. Well, Dark Kingdom, which is that? Because I don't remember the title of the Molly Hatchet cover. So if that's not Molly Hatchet, okay, then it's just another one. Okay, I'll take a look later on anyways. Stanley, wow, Stanley, you're not here at the end. In the last 3 minutes after, it's been 3 hours. You're here early. Wow, 25 minutes in. The quick answer to that is, it's the first time that he and I speak to each other live. So it's not like we've ever met, like anybody else. Just I've known him for years from just being online as part of the community, the hobby, that kind of thing. different, I guess, various, whether it's news group, CGC board type, whatever you call all that social media stuff, So yeah, like pretty much like anybody other. And the first time that I actually saw Mike was when he did what similar to what we're doing tonight on the Comic Art Live channel a couple of years back in August of 2021, I believe it was, right, Mike?
I forget now.
Yeah.
I looked it up before when we were talking.
Yeah. But yeah, Stanley, he did an episode there, so check that out if you can find it. It was, I believe, August of 21. So there you go. Okay, Rick. So yeah, Molly Hatchet flirting with disaster cover. So are you confirming that that's the painting and it's called Dark Kingdom? Tell me that, because if so, that's going to be cool to watch. I look forward to watching that. I don't think we can top last week's time. There was a time when I thought we'd never hit 3 hours, and suddenly we've hit almost 4 hours, and so that's pretty crazy. And Heart's known Mike for years.
Yep.
So there you go. I don't even know what this is, Heart. On my end, it's clearly some kind of, one of those yellow emoji.
Heart knowing me is like a party.
It's like, is that a party emoji?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It looks so weird. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it, dude. Yes. Same painting. Oh, that's awesome. See, that's what I call the Molly Hatchet cover. Okay. That's going to be fun to watch. Okay, everybody, let us get into the first piece of tonight's show and tell. Why don't we? And for this, as I was saying, because Mike is known as the preacher guy, I figured what better way to start off with a preacher piece. And Mike will hopefully tell us what he loves about this one. Although I happen to know that he loves, I believe it's the second panel the most. Let's show this. Or third panel is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, the third panel is why I love this page.
Okay.
I don't know, just that look on Star's face, you just can't beat it, the anguish. I mean, you can feel him gritting his teeth in that panel.
Yeah.
And
yeah, very cool. It's funny because if it was colored differently, I'd be like, oh, what's this? At first glance, I was like, oh, Dark Side. What's going on? I don't know what it is about it, but
I almost made it into the Marvel.
You almost made it into the DC, but
oh, whatever.
but who's counting? So I've never spoken to the artist, but do you know, Mike, if I am saying it correctly? If I say, I've always said his name as Peter Snejbjerg.
I say Snejbjerg.
Are you? You can't be serious. You're not serious.
I'm serious. Snejbjerg.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Really? No.
Why not?
No, because that's either that's one of those Nordic country names. So the J's would be wise.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else want to take a guess at how do you pronounce Peter's name? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely stick to Snejbjerg before I go Snejbjerg.
Snyberg.
You say Snyberg, Peter Snyberg. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, okay. Jeff, you do all right. Whatever. I'll give it to you then. All right, Mike. You're apparently you're correct. I'm going to say apparently because I don't want Peter to somehow see this and then contact me and say you screwed it up. Why would you tell him it's Snejbjerg?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I got this page directly from Peter.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'll just call him Peter.
Good one. I think it's safer for all of us, But Marcus is chiming in to tell us that Albert used to rep him, and I always said Sneegyberg, and he'd correct me. Okay, and so he'd correct you to Snyberg. Okay, yeah, Snyberg. Okay, I guess he really Americanized it because I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's what I do.
I'm pretty sure that both J's would be pronounced and as Y's. I'd probably closer to maybe Snybjerg, but definitely the second J would still sound like a Y. But anyhow, sure. If as long as he himself says it as Snyberg, that's good. Let's go with Snyberg. Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it. So very, very cool. Let me come back to you guys here. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so now for the second piece, this is a perfect piece for everybody to use the direct link to Mike's calf gallery. Because if you have not seen this before, you're going to need to see this definitely in as large a format as possible, and that of course means seeing the full size scans on calf in his gallery. But I figured it's such a cool, interesting project that Mike came up with, and so I wanted to not only help him sort of promote it, but I wanted him to sort of maybe give us a little sort of background story on how it all came to be. So I've put this into 3 different slides, everyone, just because of the fact that to fit it all in, so you can see it all, it's too tiny to appreciate. So let me show you what I mean by that. It is a 10-piece commission, and that connects all together in a row. So I'll show you that first, just, even though you won't be able to appreciate it, because in order to fit 10 pieces on my screen, obviously they're going to be really tiny. Okay, but then I've got a couple of other versions I can show you just to get a better look at it. But yeah, so there you go. As you can see here, it's called Everything, from Henry Rollins, illustrated by the wonderful inker Gary Martin. Done over the course of the last couple of years, 2021, 2022. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you can break them up into, you could see where the breaks would be. And yet they all combine together. And before we get Mike to sort of tell us about the project, let me show you the other 2. So the next slide I'm going to show you is the same thing. So I've squeezed in all 10 pieces, but this time 5 on the top row, and then the next 5 on the bottom row. So at least it's a little bit more legible, and that's like that. So that's starting to look a lot more easy to sort of make out what's going on, and you can start seeing how crazy cool everything is, all the detail and all the story happening, the narrative going on inside. And just very quickly, so you guys get a better idea of what some of the art looks like. If you look at the bottom 2 images to the furthest right, those 2 images I am now putting on a 3rd slide, which is like this. So just real quick, you can see that. That's the 8th and 9th piece in the 10-piece project. And yeah, and here they are up close. So yeah, really beautiful, very, very cool. And yeah, Mike, maybe we'll leave it on this one since it shows all of them in a pretty decent size. Why don't you talk a little bit about this and let us know how the genesis of the project, how it all came to be.
So the origin story, I mean, I got my first Black Flag album in 1985, and that started everything. So okay. Since then, I've just been a Rollins fanatic, okay. Obviously. And then, so he put out a spoken, he writes, dozens and dozens of books. And one of the books he did is called Ice Cream, EYESCREAM. And then he made an audio CD where he read the entire book. Oh. And then, so just listening to that over and over, and as a fanatic will do. And then I just took my love of Henry Rollins in the most manly way, and then my love of art and comic book art. And I'm like, if you listen to it, it has these visuals, I think. Okay. And then I contacted Gary Martin after seeing all of his commissions on Comic Art Fans, and he was gracious enough or dumb enough to take on the project. He ended up doing 37 commissions for me in total.
How 37 in total?
Yeah. But wow. The last one he did was free. So I paid for 36, but he gave me one free.
Oh yeah. I read that in your description. Commission him 36 times and you get one free. Yep. Yeah, that's funny. But just to clarify, out of the 37 commissions total, none of the other 27 have anything to do with this, or do they?
Well, the first 20, so the CD, if you know what those are, is broken up into 10 tracks. So the first track is 27 commissions, and then track 9, which is this one, is 10 commissions.
Okay.
And then, so as you alluded, I made videos for them for YouTube just because I wanted to do it.
Yeah, got you. So, okay. So, excuse me. This 10 piece that we just showed, it's the narrative version of that one track.
Of track number 9, right?
It's track number 9. So it's a single track. Wow. Okay. And so it's a spoken word project, right? So
right.
He narrates this, if we can call it that. You, as you're listening, the things that he's narrating, those are the images that you had Gary draw or illustrate.
Right.
Are the things that Henry Rollins is actually narrating in this track.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, so if you look at one of my videos, you can see, hopefully, depending on my editing skills and all that, I tried to show that.
Okay. That's very, very cool. Okay. Really neat. Interesting. What I find I actually kind of like wild more than anything, perhaps, is like it's such a cool project. But if I had ever sort of imagined anybody would go to these lengths to do this, I'm actually surprised that it wasn't his music, like let's say one of his musical albums, that got you wanting to do this. That instead it was this narrative.
Well, this is just more visual. If you listen to it,
right, because it's like storytelling essentially, right? So
right,
yeah. Oh, interesting. Wow. Yeah, that's wicked cool, man. That's wow. And yeah, props to Gary Martin for pulling it off. I mean, I would think you were super thrilled with it. I would be super happy with how it
especially if you see, I did all, I guess you call them layouts. Like,
yeah,
I drew all the pages and laid them out, but in stick figure form.
Oh yeah, sure, okay.
And then
Gary,
cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool because then it's your basic layout idea, right? The composition is all yours. That's really cool. Yeah, and you make it a little bit that much easier, really, for Gary, because he doesn't have to go through the whole process of the whole thinking, which
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't leave it up to him. I mean, you have to be immersed in it to come up with this. I think
Yes, I would think so. Yeah, good point. Exactly, good point. Yes, stories with illustration, precisely. Marcus is asking, was there a special meaning to you about this particular story?
Not, I mean,
like why track 9, I guess, as we might be saying,
Well, just listen. If you listen to the entire album, like, obviously I did track 1, track 9. There's, 2 through 8 in between, but they don't have that visual aspect to them. Like, so there's pieces in there that I still am thinking about doing.
Okay.
But just not the full tracks, because it just doesn't work. You'd have to listen. You have to listen to it to understand.
Okay. Got you. Let me know if this is correct. Marcus is letting us know that spoken word piece, track 9, is about Rollins' friend who ended up becoming a victim of gun violence.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, and then, so if you go on YouTube and search for, somebody else has uploaded it. I think it's called A Story of Two Boys. And he basically tells a story about him and his friend. They went out to a store, and when they came back, they got held up, and his friend ended up getting killed.
Oh.
And then, so if you listen to this track 9 and you listen, so that page, what is it? Page 7, that's a picture of his friend that got killed. I don't know. It's just a powerful story. I mean, it's worth checking out.
So that's 8 and 9. So it's the one before that one, which is here. Oh, let me get Marcus's comment off.
Right.
Okay. So on the bottom left corner, that was his friend.
Right.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff, man.
And I mean, if you look at page 4, that's him standing at his friend's gravesite. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense.
It's more than just, a commission or comic art,
Yeah. For sure. No, it's fabulous. It's really fabulous and incredibly unique. Perhaps one of the most, in my opinion, perhaps the most. I think it absolutely is up there. It could certainly be considered the most unique, be in the running for the most unique comic book narrative art related commission ever made by anybody, ever gotten.
Yeah, it didn't get any votes on the best of, though, because it didn't have Thanos on it.
It didn't have Thanos. Well, look, I'm not going to say anything about that. You know what I would say if I was going to say.
Right. I know. I just gotta. But maybe I'll Photoshop him in there somewhere.
Yeah, and then you'll win the vote for sure. Just stick him in there.
Yep.
But no, it's supremely unique, and it's intensely personal to Henry Rollins, which is really cool. And the fact that you've been a fan of his for whatever, close to 40 years now, that makes it even more special, right? So I would think so. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, no, good on you, man. Good on you. That was a really wicked piece, and I'm glad I got a chance to show that.
Ultimately, it comes down to listening to that. I thought of this project, and if I didn't do it, I would regret not doing it.
Oh, wow.
It's just, it'd be like, oh, I could have done this thing.
Yeah,
I don't want to have that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that you even thought of it, like the fact that you thought of the idea, right? If an idea like that, which is really labor intensive, time intensive, the whole shebang, money intensive. I would say too that, I mean, if you came up with that idea, I mean, it shows that it must have meant something to you, right? And so I can see how if you didn't go through with it, it would probably haunt you for like the rest of your life, making you wonder, like, man, should I have gone through with that idea, right? Like, yeah, so it's fabulous that you ended up doing it, man. Because it's like I said, it's not like it's one or even like a giant double page splash like some people get, or some people have gotten, 3-piece side by sides or 5 pieces. Like this is huge. I mean, this is just one track, 10 pieces, and then you got, like I said, all the the other 27 pieces, for the other. Oh man, I mean, this is it's a massive in scope and scale for sure,
Right. It's just the definition of fanatic. That's
sure. Exactly. Right. And that's what the word fan comes from, fanatic. So perfect, man. No, it's fabulous, man. I really love it. And like I said, hey, Murdoch, very, very happy that I had a chance to put it out there for people, and hopefully, the Rewind watchers. By the way, hello to you Rewinders. I don't even think I said hello to you people. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, as always. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed seeing that killer, really inventive piece that Mike got made by Gary Martin. And I love music. A lot of people in the chat know already, Marcus and CJ and, the Rickster. I mean, a lot of us are really into music. And so, I think those of us who are super into music, I think we could probably appreciate it even more, and I can tell you honestly, in all honesty, it's fabulous for me to see something like that, a project like that, simply for the reasons that I've already told you, and because it's music related, and this is coming from a guy, me, who I don't think I've ever heard more than 1 or 2 songs by Henry Rollins. he's a musician I just never got exposed to. So I know nothing about the guy other than if I saw him, I would recognize him, but don't know anything about him otherwise, musically speaking,
Well, that's unfortunate.
But still, I love the art. I love the piece, and
But and to answer Marcus, I don't know if Henry has seen it. I have posted it online, tagged him and all that. So who knows?
Yeah.
He's not one, I don't think, to say if he saw it anyway.
Well, there you go. Hey, Maki Poo. Good evening, sir. Good evening to you, Tariq. Good to see you. Just joining, no worries. Happy to see you here. And yeah, CJ, what an amazing concept with pure thought. Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying, hey, there are many American friends that I have who are also into Rush, just FYI. So, and what does being into Rush have to do with not having heard anything by Henry Rollins? By the way, Henry Rollins, his music, sorry about that. What genre does it classify under typically?
I don't do any of that. I don't know.
I mean, is it rock? Do people call it rock? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's guitar, bass, drums, guys screaming, whatever that falls into.
Okay.
But, Swans also have
hard pounding stuff, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. And thank you. Yes, Rick. Thank you. Rest in peace, Gordon Lightfoot. Absolutely. Hello to you, Mark. Good to see you. All the way from Singapore. Good morning, I guess. Okay, excellent. Well, fantastic, everyone. Let us move on to the next piece. And for that, we are going to somewhat more of a mainstream thing, kind of. I got to tell you, Mike, this one surprised me, and I'd like to hear what it is about this one that made you add this to your collection.
Oh. Is that mainstream? James LeMay? I don't know if he's mainstream. I first saw James' art on eBay. I bought my first page from him on eBay.
Okay.
And he'd do a 3-page strip in a more mature magazine.
Okay.
And he did a comic in there for years that 3 pages, the first page would be like a pin-up, and then second and third page, damsel in distress type thing.
Right.
But I mean, he's one of those guys that because he does adult-orientated material, he gets overlooked for his artistic abilities.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I can say. I like him. I think he's a fantastic artist. His pencil-only pieces are awesome, but he just gets lumped in, or overlooked, like I said, because of that content. But if he was doing mainstream stuff, he'd be a top-tier guy.
Okay, Murdoch says he's excited to see James's work. He's like, his Shield Maiden stuff is great.
It is. It most certainly is.
So you've got at least one guy here in the chat who's familiar with James's work for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, Hart says great line work. Yeah, because for me, I always keep it real, right, Mike? You've watched my show long enough. Yeah. I keep it real. For me, I'm looking at that the werewolf character, and I'm like, that's like, let's look at it again. I don't know. I don't know, but the Babe's pretty good. I don't know the werewolf character though.
Well, it's one of those things where 90% of his effort is put into that foreground, and
for sure.
And then the background.
Clearly, that's the star of the show. I guess. It was, in all honesty, my surprise when you showed me that one. You sent that one to me. I guess it was more along the lines of when I see covers like that. What was that company? There was Marcus. I know you know. There was this company who really Yeah, Xenoscope. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Xenoscope stuff. So it just reminds me of that, right? And like a lot of people think, they just like, oh, okay, it's like we call it titty art, it's for the babes kind of thing, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's not what I would have expected, from your collection. But then again, it's eclectic, so I shouldn't be that surprised, So yeah, it's interesting. And by the way, for those that don't know, because that's from 2007, and you told me privately, but I guess we should mention it for anybody interested. I believe you had said that was only published as a digital online comic only. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what he does. Is he just does online comics?
Okay.
He did put out a comic exclusively through NSNart. You can get it exclusively there.
The link below, everybody.
That's the only physical comics that I've seen, aside from the published pages in that magazine, which was called, and I'm going to Americanize this, but Quebec Erotic or Erote or whatever.
Oh, Quebec Erotique. Yeah.
So that's the magazine that he did the 3-page stories in.
Oh, okay. I see. I got you.
But now he just does his own online thing and Patreon stuff like that.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Gets the fans to help fund the projects.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Murdoch says, would you be able to get a hold of his Raid of the Shield Maiden stuff?
Are you talking about original pages? I do have some pages on the site.
Oh, you do have some of that stuff on your site?
I don't know if it's that particular story, but I do have some Shield Maiden pages. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Murdoch, use the link below that goes directly to Mike's NSNart.com website. And yeah, just check it out there. And if you don't see what you kind of want or are looking for, then obviously you can just get in touch with Mike through email, through the site that way, And then you guys can connect. And who knows? Yeah, maybe make a love connection, a love for art connection. There you go. Okay. Hey, Nick. What's up, buddy? Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much, and I will be doing your promos a little bit later. I've got it about when we get halfway through the art, then I'll be doing the promos for your show. I got it all set up. So thank you, Yes, everybody, if you can, please hit the like. Please appreciate the 25 so far. We've got 28 viewers though, so we can certainly get a few more if you don't mind. And before we continue with the rest of them, I did want to remind everybody that we will be doing a giveaway tonight, a free original art, Star Wars art giveaway. And actually, it is our wonderful friend, Jeff Wedding, who is giving away the art. So I don't want to make you think that it's me. He's just using my channel as the tool to give it away. And let me just quickly show it to you all. Here we go. For those of you coming in late and didn't catch the beginning, I don't know, a few of you admitted to doing so. Check this out. Oh, sorry. That's actually, well, I might as well just tell you. That's another show tomorrow on Kavi's channel. That's Comic Books NYC here on YouTube. All right, that's Kavi's channel. Comic Books NYC. And that's going to be a Star Wars related, Star Wars themed art show. Original art show, and he's going to have Kavi's going to have Jeff as his guest, as well as Eric Fidel, the artist, and they're going to be doing another art giveaway courtesy of Jeff Wedding tomorrow night on Kavi's channel. So check that out. But tonight we will be giving away this piece. All right, so you can win this page for free. It's Star Wars Knight Errant Deluge #2, page 16. Just so you guys know, those are original blue pencils. It's not printed. It's original blue graphite by Ivan Coelho, and it's from 2011. So nice action-packed outer space scene. And we'll be giving that away a little bit later on in tonight's show. So in order to have a chance at winning this, all you got to do is type in #Star Wars. Okay, so if you guys have come in late, anybody who has come in late, and this is the first time you're hearing this, yeah, here, let me check out at the bottom, the ticker at the bottom of the screen. You want free original art? Enter #Star Wars, And you got to be here. Okay, you got to be here when we do the draw. If you're not here, and we draw your name, but you're not here because you've left for whatever reason, we're just going to draw another name. Yes, that's the way to keep viewers to hang around. Yes, I admit it. So yeah, there you go. If you want to win, enter hashtag Star Wars right now into the chat, and that'll get you an entry. All right. So thank you very, very much for that. Before we get to the next piece, let me just quickly jump in and see if there's any other comments we need to address. Jeff says, I never called Rubén a tool for the record. No, you did not, my friend. No. You better not have. Rubén Data Colors for, hey, what's up, TJ? Rubén the Facilitator. Yes, cool. Yes, they are very, very beautiful. I love blue pencil. I know I have friends that don't like it. And I'm like, I don't get it. I just think it's more beautiful than regular gray graphite. Hart says that he likes James LeMay's work. It's got flair and a cinematic feel to him. Very cool. And okay, there you go. You guys are the guys that I knew that come in later. So good job with that, Maki Poo. Hashtag Star Wars. TJ, you as well. And what's Mike saying here? Quietly, Rubén should use that LeMay piece when he says, hit those like buttons. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's good. Touche, my friend. Touche. Geeks and Drinks, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. How the hell did you hear that we were going to give away some free art? I know you're here for the free art. Wow, Jesus, I haven't seen you in a minute. What? Oh, I know. It's because you were probably checking out the free art giveaway on Nikki B's channel on Friday, or maybe Comic Art Live on Thursday. What's up, Jesus? Good to see you, man. It's been, like I said, it's been a minute. Wow, nice to see some of you guys that haven't been by in a while. And who else? All right, Mikhail's gonna go for it. He's like, okay, what the hell? I might be here. All right, guys. So thank you very much. Let me just check. 20. Okay, yeah, there's still a bunch of you that haven't entered. Maybe it's just because you figure you won't be here. You might as well, because you might be here. So you might as well, if you want, don't hesitate to give it a shot. Hashtag Star Wars, and you might win. And another one, late to the party. And Stevie B, what's up? Late to the party, following dinner plans with another couple that turned into a group of 10. No worries. Stevie B, if you're gonna hang out, type in hashtag Star Wars for another free giveaway by Jeff Wedding. He's going to be giving some of his Star Wars art collection piece away. So yeah, hashtag Star Wars and maybe win a piece of free art, man. All right, everybody, let us jump back into the art and let's continue the show and tell. And this next one is quiet and it's just lovely in its quiet simplicity. It's what I love about it. But what do you got to tell us about this one, Mike?
Well, it may be quiet, but you can definitely see the emotion on her face, which is something that Sophie Campbell is really good at. I think that if there is one thread throughout my collection, I like emotional art.
Right.
Art that pulls something out, whether it's the clenched fist or clenched teeth of Star, or this more reflective moment here on this cover.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I say what I like about it is its quiet simplicity, right? Oftentimes I'm the first to complain that certain artists, oh, you're too lazy, you couldn't put in a background. But here, because of the emotion, it's all about the character. And it's clear without even speaking to Sophie, I know that the reason she left the background void is so that the viewer, the reader, can focus only on the emotion of the central character,
Right. I mean, she has no problem with background, obviously, anything like that. I've got plenty of stories with that. It's this piece, just the way it is perfect.
Yeah. It's an interesting little change, isn't it, Jeff? I was thinking the same thing myself, but it's weird because for me, I feel almost like it gives it a feeling of cold, because of the blue tint. It's like a cold sort of loneliness. So that could be something along the lines of what they were thinking. But then again, you guys know in the publishing industry, sometimes it's just a case of you publish it as is, and it just shows up in a different way. The colors just somehow change. So who knows? It's hard to say because we obviously haven't spoken to the printers or the editors at Image. But it's an interesting color change for sure. Either way, it's beautiful because it's like Mike says, it's this is all about the emotion, not only in the face, but just the way that she's got the arms crossed.
Posture.
Yeah, the posture, exactly. Everything in the posture. Yeah, really, really beautiful. Now, like Hart says, it's morose. The morose emotion comes through 100%. So yeah, very, very cool.
I mean, looking at it now, I think just the blue overtones on the published pieces to get it to match the Image logo.
Maybe
really subtle blue, and I think it's just to keep that tone throughout the cover.
Yeah, it could be. Like I said, we can't truly know. But yeah, either way, it works. It's really, really beautiful. So, really, really happy you sent me that piece to show. That's a really cool one. All right, so let us check out the next piece, guys. And for this one, we're gonna go a little bit more onto the eclectic side again, and we're gonna go the way I've staggered them tonight. I didn't want those of you who are not so into eclectic stuff. I didn't want you guys, maybe thinking, oh God, it's all stuff I don't know about or care about, and then leave. So I've kind of mixed it up as best I can so that we go back and forth from eclectic to slightly more closer, veering towards mainstream, and then back to eclectic again.
There's at least one DC piece in there.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Guys, yes, there are some mainstream. Yeah, so it's a mix. It's mixed, but like I said, I spread it out and mixed it up in a specific order that I thought would be best to benefit everybody's tastes. So okay, excellent. And so with that being said, and I love this next piece. It is not comic book art. It is not mainstream comic book art, but it's so cool, different, and the art is it's beautiful. I love it. So check this out, everyone. Check this out. So tell us a little bit about this, Mike, because I don't know that you even have much background info on it. I do know that you love it and you're happy to own it. But if there's anything at all that you know about this, yeah, sure. Be sure to let us know.
No, I mean, so Tom Holbrick is he's a tattooist. He does comics. And I first ran across him at San Diego, I think probably in 2005. And this piece, I just love it. Again, I love this phase of his art. He goes through many phases, but like the posture on the figures, like the posture of the little guy inside of the girl. I mean, both of them, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it besides I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to get it. I think he did them in 2007. I think in my database, I got him in like 2012, and I was just so happy when I emailed him and he said he still had them. I was like, oh my God, I'll take them.
Yeah. Oh, and well, check it out. See, there's people here. So Maki Poo, he's what you would call, a fairly mainstream art guy, mainstream art collector, and he's saying, I love these eclectic or alt pieces. So that's what it's all about, right? It's exposing those of us who typically don't see or collect this type of stuff, and sort of, for me at least, it's about wanting others to here. And I feel so weird when I keep talking and I can't see ourselves. Sorry, let me jump back and sort of remove it for a second.
Yeah, because
I wanted to. Yeah, and so check it out for the scale.
I mean, these things are
pretty tall,
19 inches. They're huge.
Yeah. It's really beautiful.
And they're
art's fantastic. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, but that's it. I love so much different art, and just because I don't collect it doesn't mean I can't love it, right? And
right.
There's a lot of art that I love. I'll never collect it, but I still like to look at it. And part of the fun of like looking and doing this, right, and having friends come on and feature their parts of their collections, especially ones like yours, which are different from the mainstream, is that I can kind of vicariously collect, if you will, that type of art, or at least appreciate it through your collection.
No, I have a art collection on my computer of pieces that I've downloaded that I love them. I'm not going to ever own the original, but I don't need to for those pieces. I think Tom just released like 50 paintings on his website today or yesterday.
Oh, wow.
They're a different style than this, but if you like his stuff, he just put out. And again, it's not comic art, so they're not $2,500 a piece.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it is cartooning, and so it still has it's a cartoonist style. So so
this style
mainstream collectors, they could, it's something. If it catches your attention, it's still along the lines of cartooning. So it's still something that a type of piece could catch your eye, and you'd be like, holy crap, I kind of like that. Maybe I'll buy my first non-mainstream piece of art.
Right. Well, and as a teaser, there's another Holbrick piece coming up later on.
Right. Yes, another one coming up. Absolutely. Yeah. And different too. Not
completely different.
Yeah, not what you would expect having seen this one, right? So yeah, very much. Yeah, Mikhail, he likes mainstream as well as more alternative and esoteric type stuff. So yeah, he loves that too. Yeah, TJ, that is a wonderful set. So many, and just to make it clear, everybody, those were two different pieces.
Yeah.
And yeah, I chose to put them together on one slide because I felt they really go good together. Clearly, Tom conceived of them at the same time, obviously.
Right.
So I figured, okay, they got to go together. So out of curiosity, Mike, when you got them, do you remember, were they listed on his site like separately, or was he trying to sell them together as a pair?
I don't even think they were for sale. I just saw the images, I think, on his website, and I emailed him and asked if he still had the originals.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Murdoch says that it's a kind of a cross between Dan Close and Jeff Nicholson. Not familiar with Jeff Nicholson, I'm sorry to say, but interesting comment. Okay, cool. Murdoch is
Dan Klaus.
Is it Klaus?
I mean, don't ask me. I say Snedgeberjerk.
Yeah. For those of you who came in late, you're going to have to rewind and watch from the beginning to see what that meant. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. No worries. All right. Yeah. No, that was kick-ass. Really, really love that piece. And let's see what's next on the docket. Okay. So we're swinging back to slightly more onto the mainstream level, but not super mainstream. In terms of publisher, it's mainstream. So that would be this one here. From the old days of Vertigo, The Girl Who Would Be Death, the first issue cover by Dean Ormston from 1998. And I believe Ormston he's one of the guys that you represent?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Exactly. So what's the deal with this one, Mike? Is this one of the pieces that you got like years after having read this when it came out? Is that what that situation was?
I got it well after it was published. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I just like the look on the girl's face and her hands doing.
Yes. The hands are the best. Yes. That's my favorite.
The feeling is it like in her hands. And that's what I like about it. And you got the three figures in the background looking over, and that's what it's all about for me. It's just the girl in the front and her hands.
Yeah. It's such a shame the way they decided to publish it, because like you say, when you see the original art, you're like, ooh, look at those creepy figures, those black creepy figures behind her. But if you had never seen the original art, you might have noticed it. I think maybe you might have noticed the one on the right. Right. Just looking at the comic book, you might have sort of, is that like some creepy figure, or is that just some weird shadow thing? But Yeah, I mean, you notice it immediately in the original artwork, and what a shame that the way they did the cover is like it just covers up a lot of that, you know. And also, don't you find it kind of not only is it crappy to me, but surprising that those beautiful, I mean, I don't know what do you call it, like when you've basically gotten cut and you let the deep cut heal on its own instead of getting stitches, and then the cut sort of it becomes this bump on her hand. So you see, you know, the what do you call that symbol? It looks like the artist, the formerly known as Prince symbol, almost.
Well, I think it's like the sigil, I think it's called on her hand. But I think that cutting, it's like ketosis.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Or scarification. Yeah, that's a
really word for it. Yeah, it looks fantastic on the original. I cannot believe, like, why? And plus, it's Vertigo. Why would you think, oh, we need to gray it out and only leave the red for the blood trickling away off the bottom? Like, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah, who knows if it has to, well, I was going to say blood on the cover, but if you look at any Preacher cover, they're all covered in blood, so that can't be it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fact that it was Vertigo, the whole point of Vertigo is that they were supposed, you know, it allowed them to sort of get away with stuff like that more than you would in the regular DC universe, you know? So yeah, that's kind of it's kind of odd. Get a bunch of chat comments coming in. Highly recommend Jeff's Father and Son and Ultra Klutz from the 90s. Well, thanks for the recommendation, Murdoch.
So those names I recognize now.
Yeah, the Ultra Klutz.
Ultra Klutz and the Father and Son.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember Ultra Klutz. Mark Fong says, the pair would say something more if they were placed back to back. You know, interesting. I was going to do that, Mark. I was going to do that. My first thought was, okay, back to back, right? And then I was like, I don't know. I put them facing each other, and I was like, you know what? It still looks kind of cool, whatever. And I left it that way. But you're thinking on the same exact lines as I initially thought. But I had to choose whatever. Once I flipped them, I was like, whatever. I'll leave it that way. Stanley wants to know, do you ever read any DC or Marvel books at all?
I mean, I don't really buy new books, but I read DC. I like Batman. That's about it.
Okay.
And Batman and Vertigo, I want to, like with my music, I like my comics. They have to have a little bit something more than just as normal fluff.
Yeah.
You know, standard.
Yeah, you like what you like, and you know, the hero guys love what they like, and that's that. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Right.
To each their own. Everybody's got their own taste. And thank you, Murdoch, yes, for confirming scarification. And Marcus, thank you for telling us that the it's called an Ankh. See, it looks like an Ankh that I kind of remember, like an Egyptian Ankh, but I don't know. Can there be different types, different designs of Ankhs? That's the thing, because if they're,
I'm sure it's just a variation on the theme.
Variation, yeah. Okay. What else was I getting to here? Oh, TJ, the trade dress had to promote the death character. So I never read this. So is that what they're doing? I mean, is this related to Death from Sandman?
I mean, it tangentially. I mean,
oh, okay.
I can't even recall if Death is even in the comic. It's more of a girl kind of, I think, worshiping her.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Now, wow. So maybe not scarification. Now on the hands.
Oh,
my buddy
keloid,
Jason.
that's the word.
Keloid.
That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, really? So you were familiar with that word too? Okay, interesting. So yeah, is that what it is? And am I correct in stating that you know, typically you cut yourself deep, and if you don't get it stitched, right, that tends to happen, right? It gets like a rounded.
It can, and I think it's more prominent among certain people than others.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Jason. Good to see you tonight, sir. Man, that's excellent. Okay, love the knowledge dropping. It is an anonymous. I don't know what you mean by that, TJ. I'm a little bit lost. And now Rick is telling us that it's referred to as an onyx symbol. Okay. And I'll take all your words for it because I'm not familiar with the name at all. Maybe they're Popeye's anchors. Definitely not. We know that one's not.
No, it's not a crossover issue.
Not a crossover. Let me see. Time folks commented on it being some kind of statement on the stigmata. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, right? It's obviously some kind of statement on. Absolutely, that's the case. Of course, right? It's the symbol carved onto the palms of the hands.
Well, I mean, she's there with the candles. You got the three grandmothers in the back. She's doing some sort of ritual thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's a play on stigmata. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Exactly. So some people have a robust scarring, heels very raised. Yeah, more common in African Americans. Really interesting, but can occur in anyone. Yeah, because I once cut myself with a box cutter, and I get it looked deep, but I was too lazy to go to the hospital, and the scar is now like I can feel it, like it's it's like a bump, it's like a rounded bump or whatever. So, let me see, not on. Oh, so now here you're going back on it, and Marcus and saying you're giving Marcus nailed it. Okay, sure. If you insist. Let me see. Mikhail, chicks dig scars. Yeah, apparently. And those are some pretty wicked ones too. Yeah, but really, I can't believe they still took away the red. It looks beautiful on the original art. I mean, that's kind of what catches your eyes because like you said, Mike, the position of the hands, it's fantastic. That's what my eyes were drawn to immediately. And then the face. I went up from the hands to the face,
Right.
So it's kind of like, man, what are you doing? Like printing it without the red on the hands. That's nutty, man. That's nutty. But yeah, beautiful piece, man. Beautiful piece. So congrats on owning this one. Hart saying scarification done in small tribes in Africa is called gar. Look at that. Look at you dropping that knowledge. Wow. Yeah, Chuck. Hey, what's up, Chuck? That's what I said, Chuck. I said that's when I first started it. I said, hey, she's got that sign that looks kind of like that sign from the artist formerly known as Prince. There we go. I can get therapy for that, can I? Thank you. I'll look into it. Mr. Easy Go Lucky going in and out of the chat. Sorry if you answered this already, but does Michael watch horror movies? No, we have not asked that question, but take that one, Mike. Oh, he's waiting.
Not really. I don't like them.
Doesn't like horror movies. Wow. Glory's Forever ML. Okay. So excellent piece. Really, really like that one. I, in case you're interested, do love horror movies. Ever since childhood, although, most of the time they're crap. And so I don't watch most of them. Right.
I need a good story. That's why I like the alternative comics.
There you go. Yeah. Well said, man. All right. So next piece, everybody. We're hitting the preacher world again.
And right.
For this one, we're hitting a commission piece that Mike has. And this one is by the artist named Christopher Keiko from 2018. I myself have never heard of Christopher Keiko. So Mike, if you know anything about him that you can tell and share with the audience, that'd be cool.
So I first ran across him. He was on a podcast called Opinions May Vary. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but they ran for like 10 plus years. But anyway, I just liked his hustle. He's got his own YouTube channel where he shows them going to conventions, setting up. He does these large freehand panel drawings.
Okay.
And I just liked his hustle on the podcast, so I'd asked him for a commission.
Okay.
And then I asked, for something. I just said the preacher characters and with a car was my request.
Oh, okay, cool. I love it. I love the angle that he chose so that we can look right into the car and see the both characters in the front seat, and you still get the third character even though she's lying in the back seat like that. That's really cool. Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend check out his YouTube channel or look for he does. I think he's on Twitch doing his drawings, and he's kind of like I know I'm going to get lambasted for forgetting this guy's name, but he just does these freehand drawings, and he'll start on one section of it and then move to another section with a big blank area. And then when it gets done, he connects them all, and it's just amazing to watch.
Okay. And did you say he will do these freehand things at the cons?
At cons, yeah, or on his Twitch.
And
Kim
on Twitch?
Jong-ji or whatever. That's the guy I was thinking of. He's kind of similar to him.
Okay, I got you. Sure. Actually, isn't and I apologize if I'm mistaken, if I'm confusing the man. Was that not the guy who just recently passed away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was probably a couple of years ago now, but yeah.
Okay.
But that's it. Of course, Marcus knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah. A vampire driving on automatic. Oh, see, I only read the first 2 trades of Preacher. So is that the thing? Is that character driving? He ends up being.
He doesn't end up being a chauffeur at the end, no.
No. He's revealed to be a vampire? Is that what the Preacher's all about?
Yeah, that's like in issue 3.
Really? I don't remember that. It's been so long. It's been so long since I read it.
If you remember the cover to issue 3, it's Cassidy looking up. His whole face is covered with blood.
Okay.
Or he's like tilting his glasses down. He's got blood all over his face. That's cover to 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Marcus spelled it out for us. There we go. Kim Jong-ji. And exactly, rest in peace. And thank you, Mikhail. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's as recent as I figured. Yeah, I figured a few months. Yeah, just before NYCC. Wow. Yeah, that was so. I remember a lot. Most people were very shocked about that. It sort of seemed to come out of the blue. Mr. Easy Go Lucky, thank you very much. Yes, please, everybody, if you can hit the like button, the thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And especially Tulip. There we go. Marcus may have it correct. I read the first 2 issues, not the first 2 trades.
Yeah. All right.
That must have been
usable.
That must have been. Oh my God, Cassidy is the vampire. Okay, got you. Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day when I'm retired, I gotta finally start catching up on reading what I haven't read, and then start adding all the other stuff that I supposedly should be reading. Stanley wants to know, Mike, where do you usually find your? Oh, sorry. Hold on, Stanley. Before I ask that, I did want to get back to Jason's question. He wanted to know if the gray tones were gouache. I think it's just sort of probably Copic markers or ink wash.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be gouache paints, right? Yeah.
I think it would be more ink wash. That's primarily what it works in.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Jason. And yeah, so Stanley was saying, where do you typically find your art when you buy art? I guess it's like anybody else, I would think, is my guess. Is like online, all over the place, wherever, and whenever.
Anywhere and everywhere. I follow a lot of people on Instagram. Yeah, that's the one. Just whatever. Just looking all over. I look at CAF, see somebody, then do a deep dive and look at more of their art. Just looking everywhere.
Yeah, just looking, searching like everybody else, basically, right?
I mean, yeah. So I'm more looking for artists. As you see, most of my collection and most of my collecting nowadays is just art. It's not really published pages.
Right. Yeah. And has that been can I assume that was kind of a purposeful trend on your part over the last?
Nothing I do is on purpose. I mean, it's just the way it worked out.
It evolved that way.
As far as like, if the question ever comes up, do I have a grail? If I do, it's not a published page.
Okay.
Of something. It's something else.
Okay. Some might think that the Henry Rollins project might be suitable as your holy grail.
I mean, yeah, I'm speechless about it. It's awesome, but I've done it.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing something.
Actually, now you're on to the next.
I'm on to the next thing, like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
On to the next one. But yeah, I'm still, as of last night, I'm working on shorts for YouTube of the pages. So I'm chopping them up and repositioning them, and they're all like 10, 15 seconds each.
Okay, cool. Very, very cool. And on the YouTube channel, you say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not up yet. I got to finish
below, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Linked below in the description. Okay, excellent. All right. From there, we will step away to what Europeans would call, this is pretty mainstream for us. Maybe North Americans wouldn't, but yeah, I think a lot of people
I know which one.
know this artist, an Italian. Yeah, that's probably what you thought, right, Mike?
Yep, that's the one.
The cover to Scorpio issue number 35 by Massimo Carnevale from 1996. Yeah, pretty sexy and yet disturbing at the same time.
Yep. So I don't know if she's in the men's room or he's in the girls' room. I don't know.
Exactly.
Nowadays it doesn't matter. But,
exactly. But that's what I was asking myself too when I was looking at it, right? I was like, that's it poses the interesting question because you can't really tell from there, and it could be both.
Right.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I saw this. This is a piece I just happened to find on CAF, and it actually went through a couple of different galleries before I was able to secure it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's always tough when you see it in one collection and then it goes to another, because you never know how long. Some collectors, if you see a piece go in their CAF, you know it's done. Some other guys, you know, if it's in their CAF, in 6 months, I can probably get that.
Right. Yeah. I just got to be patient. I can probably get it after. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's there's certain people, right? You just know if you're patient enough, you might get what they have. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. CJ, yeah, damn dead bodies everywhere. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, and by the way, Mike, off the top of your head, what type of size does this piece have? This original?
It's smaller. It's on the smaller size.
Smaller size? Oh, okay.
10 by 14, maybe.
Oh, okay. Do you know if Massimo tends to work that way on a regular kind of basis, or
that I couldn't tell you. I've only been lucky enough to get one piece of his.
Yeah, I know. That's cool. That's cool.
I don't know. I was going to say, it seems like the Y covers would be larger, but because of the detail, but that piece is pretty detailed for the size that it is. So I couldn't say.
Exactly. No, excellent. That's cool. Nice European piece, you know. And
I'm eclectic and international.
And international, yeah. You're the international.
Like Canadian piece earlier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody. The next piece we're going to is going to be more along the lines of switching back into the closer to mainstream, and definitely a mainstream artist. Let's take a look at this piece. It is a prelim, actually. From the.
It's not a prelim.
Oh, are you sure?
If it is, it's a damn good prelim.
Oh no, Mike, that's a tight prelim, man. Did you buy this under the understanding that this was the finished?
The cover. I got this from the well-known Keown collector.
Yeah. Okay. So because I will say, I guess people, our friends in the chat will let us know. I'm sure one of them knows at least. I wasn't. If that's the case, then we have to obviously, we look at it and what that tells us is if this is the finished piece, that would mean that Keown ended up switching up his method of working to where he, works up a tight sort of penciled piece, but then still reserves a whole bunch of the finished work for the computer. Because the hair's all gone. And that's a lot of work in the hair, right? So I personally, I haven't checked in many years, but I've never heard of Keown being the kind of guy who will do part of the drawing in the computer. So, and then by the way, I also have to mention, don't forget this, Mike, and for everybody else who doesn't see it, you can't see it, but I wanted you guys to see it as close as possible because it's so beautiful, but I cropped it myself. The scan that Mike sent me shows you that there's a lot of border.
Right.
So the paper, there's it's much more empty paper around these edges, and it looks very much like what a very tight prelim typically looks like.
I mean, I don't care either way. It doesn't change my opinion of the piece, and I mean, it's not going to be for sale anytime soon, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately you love it. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, look at the look on his face, the tension, the strain in his neck.
Yeah, oh, it's beautiful.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And Carlito, what's up? The bald version.
Yeah, for the naked variant.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. It's all about the variants these days, But like CJ says, yeah, beautiful nevertheless. And nevertheless is one word, CJ, just FYI. Now you can type out Rubén DaCollector, which I know you will, which you would anyways. Jason says, I like it better sans hair. And I got to tell you, so do I, Mike. I like the original better. Yeah, there's just something about, I guess.
Yeah, the cover is so dark, you can barely see his neck and the side of his face. And that's where everything's at.
Exactly. All the detail is covered up with the color in the hair, Exactly. Yeah, Mikhail gets it perfectly. It's the alopecia variant. That's funny.
Is this why I tell him to keep my cover out of his mouth or something like that?
Hey, you're always on my channel. You're always free to do what you want, Mike. Whatever you want to blast these guys, you can blast them. You want to make fun of them, make fun of them. They know they can take it, and as long as you're willing to take as give. You got to be able to give as good, get as good as you can.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, TJ. You see, you're saying it for CJ. Rubén, the grammar police. Exactly. I'm just passing on some knowledge. You guys are always dropping knowledge. Why shouldn't I? Come on. We're here to share with each other, right? Hey, Chuck. Chuck says that maybe Brian Haberlin finished. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, but I know very little about how they work, so I didn't really.
Is he a digital guy?
Sorry?
Is he a digital guy? I don't know.
Yeah, he paints digitally. He did well, not that you would know because you're not into the mainstream stuff, but back in the 2000s, he even did like a run of was it Hulk covers? Chuck, you can tell us. I think it was Hulk covers, a run of them, and they were all kind of digital or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So that's yeah. So that's why, yeah. So who knows, right, Chuck? I mean, it's possible. It's very possible. Marcus, G.I. Jane 2. Keep your what did he say? Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Right. That's what I was alluding to earlier.
Oh, so funny. Rubén, did you say something? No, CJ, nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Brian Haberlin lives in Orange County, California. Thanks, Hart. Thanks for letting us know.
Go ask him next time you see him.
There you go. Run across the street and ask the guy. Knock on his door and get the answer for us. We'll still be here.
Next time he's down by the river, just pop your head out the door.
Got to jump out of that van. Hey, Murdoch is dropping some knowledge. He says that the cover online, I guess he means, is credited to Dale Keown and Matt Miller. Yeah, but Matt Miller, I guess probably, the extra computer work or just the colors. Who knows? It still doesn't really tell us where the hair came, right? Who did the hair? So it's interesting. It's a conundrum that you can always, if you're ever curious enough, Mike, you can always try to hunt down Dale or ask him his process and find. I'm sure you could find out, right?
I'm sure I could.
Yeah, you just have to waste your time. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, Hart. Let him know. The hair is by Sassoon. Vidal Sassoon. That's very cool. All right, everyone, let us get to the next piece, well, shall we? And for this one, we're heading back into the esoteric type stuff and to an interesting piece that I want Mike to tell us about because I'm curious about what this book is about. This is called Dorfler. It's a graphic novel, and this is page 39 of the graphic novel, and it's by Jeremy Baum. From back in 2015. And the originals, just so you guys know, as always, the published piece is on the right-hand side. You don't see much of a difference. This is one of those times where it's very, very almost exact to the published piece. But the pieces are actually separated. He actually did the top half of the page on one board and then the bottom half of the page on another board. Which is very interesting. And I wonder, and I guess Mike's going to tell us and show us perhaps in a second. Here we go. We'll come back to Mike. And what do you got to show us, man?
So here's the originals.
Wow, that's cool. So, okay. So they're definitely way bigger than usual. That's why he had to do them separately. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's 11. It's just the way Jeremy works. Like his Postland book, the page layout was a 6-panel grid, 2 across and 3 down, but he only did 4 per page. So each page is on a page and a half. So here's the book.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, is Jeremy Baum what the story is about? I don't know. You read it and you tell me.
I'll take your word for that. But yeah,
I just like him. Another guy that I just dig his art. I like the way he does characters.
Yeah,
you can definitely, I like guys that when you see a character, you go, "Oh, I know who did that."
Yeah,
like instantly.
Right.
And then he's another artist, writer, letterer. Another guy that does everything.
He does the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty creative. Hart says that the esoteric art means that you need to be art intelligent to collect it. Go, Mike.
All right.
I guess he's trying to say the rest of us are all dummies.
Yeah, I just stumbled into it. I don't know.
Marcus is telling me to read the first 2 volumes, and then maybe I'll know what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. Just read the first 2 issues.
All right, guys. This brings us to the point in the show where I'm just going to take a little quick break to give Nikki B, who is gone now, but you guys can all attest that I did give him his promo. Check out the EXP on Nikki B's show. Nikki B's show, the EXP, the Original Art Experience, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. A combination art sales show / chat show. Lots of fun. Great way to end the work week on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening. And this in this particular case this week, I always show you guys this graphic, right? So to remember that it's Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I also always put, I got to look for it here. Here we go. For you guys who are not already familiar with Nick's show, that is on www.youtube.com/the-exp. So if you just remember the EXP, and if you just search the EXP on YouTube, you'll find it right away. But this week, I am going to do a little bit more than just give you this URL and graphic promotional image. On top of that, I want to let you guys know that this coming Friday, I guess a lot of you probably already know, but for those of you who don't, this coming Friday, Nick is going to be breaking up an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I can't remember if is it number 7? I believe it's number 7, although that's neither here nor there. The point being that this issue of Amazing Spider-Man is done by Mark Bagley, and don't quote me, but I think it's inked. Is it by Dell and Hennessy? mixed? I can't remember, but maybe we'll see in a second because I'm just going to show you guys. It's such an amazing issue in terms of content. You talk about high quality content. If you're a Bagley fan, if you're a Spidey fan, this particular issue has what seems to be the entire Spideyverse. Yeah, so the whole Spideyverse is on it, and there we go. The cover to the original cover to glory.
I'm doing my impersonation of Mike Berkey.
And let me show you a few pieces here that Nick is going to have for sale on Friday, this Friday on his show. All right. Here we go. I'm going to show you a few pieces, just get an idea. Here we go. Okay. So as you can see, a whole bunch of Spidey characters. And take a look at this one. Tons of Spidey characters all over the place. Check this next one out. A rooftop scene, aerial shot. Just a smorgasbord of characters all over the place. And it just gets better and better. Check this out. If you're a Spidey, like I said, the Spideyverse fan, it gets better and better. Check this out. Look at this. Splash page with 2 inset panels. Loads of characters. I mean, like there's Spideyverse characters up the wazoo. Check this out. And I apologize. I know you can't see this one very well. These are the photos that Nick supplied me, so the best I could do. But yeah, I mean, just Spideyverse characters up the wazoo, left and right. And they're coming out of every orifice. Check this out. Look at this one. Holy smokes! I can't believe Paulie P's not in the audience tonight because I know he's going to want. I'm going to reach out to him, Nick. I'll reach out to Paul privately and let him know that he's going to want to tune into your show this week because I know that he would want some of this stuff. So check this out, guys. Another couple of pieces to show you. Another nice little splash with 2 inset panels or 3 inset panels. And then check this one out. The last piece I have to show you. Check this out. A double page splash with 3 inset panels with like a bazillion characters, including Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham in the bottom left-hand corner. I mean, it's got everybody who has ever been anybody in the Spider-Verse. So again, if you guys are Spider-Verse fans, check it out on youtube.com/theexp this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Be there and get your Bagley killer art pages. All right. So there you go. Thank you very much. And in the time that I did that, 30 comments came in. Oh, the Nikki Beaster has come back. Okay, hold on, guys. I don't want to just skip a bunch of comments, but let me at least go through them. Oh, what's up, guys? What's up, Hoarders Hide? Scott B in the house. Good to see you, man. And he has Spider-Boy art we made fun of last week. Yeah, he's going to have a lot of kick-ass spider art, as you just saw. Scott, CJ, okay. But wait, more. You crapped on it last week, did you? Oh, because on Friday I couldn't make it. That's right. I had to step out 15 minutes before the show. I didn't make it back in time. So you're very welcome, Nick. And yes, thank you for confirming it is issue number 7. Thank you very much. And Mark Bagley, and thanks by Dell and Hennessy. See, I'm going by memory here, dude. By memory, and I don't even know why, because I didn't look at the issue. I don't know why I even remember that, and you didn't tell me in your email, so I'm actually pretty proud of myself. Yes, thank you, Rick. Thank you. I'll tell everybody one last time just before we do the draw, anyways. But first Spider-Boy. Oh, so it's the first. I didn't know that. The first appearance of Spider-Boy. So the latest, greatest Spider-Verse character. There we go. So get a piece of it. Get a piece of it this Friday. Let me see. What else? For Spider-Boy Murdoch. Okay, so that's good. Nikki B's answering all the questions for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Nick. And what year this was published? I think he probably already answered you. Yes, this year, a few months ago. Thank you. Good gosh, like a George Perez splash. Yeah, that last one, right, CJ? Yeah, it was wild. And I know Red Pants at Night, Sailor's Delight. Love it. You prefer bats? Exactly, Hart. I know you prefer bats. And do we have bats tonight? I don't think so. Do we?
Well, a Batman cover.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking
Batman
image,
cover.
right? I'm picturing the image of Batman. No, I don't remember, but yes, exactly. We'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. Yes. Hey, Scott, what's up, sir? Coming in to win some free art, perhaps. Yes, that'll be soon, everybody. Soon enough. And next Funhouse. And Stanley says, any sale shows upcoming, Ruben? No. I don't have enough art to sell. And as you remember, Stanley, from my last sale, like a lot of the stuff that I included was from my collection, stuff that I wasn't looking to sell. But as I have done through 26 years in this hobby, anytime I didn't have enough to do a proper sale, I did take from my collection because, I don't know, I know people love sales, and as a collector / dealer, I just always felt like it was incumbent upon me to do, sales every so often. Even if that meant taking from my collection and, whatever, sharing the wealth. And I'm okay with that. But I no longer really have an inventory, Stanley. So I buy pieces here and there that I think, oh God, I can't believe it's going for so cheap. And I'll buy it and I'll put it away. And that's kind of how I can do shows, by accumulating pieces like that. But, I don't accumulate pieces like that often enough to be able to do shows regularly. And these days, with all the different auction houses in existence, very few people want to consign. And I have to pound the drum hard, even with my close friends, for them to consign. So it's kind of like, you know what? If you guys don't want to part with the art, then I'm not going to, what can I do? I can't force you. So I haven't even been asking. And for the last sale, FYI, I didn't ask anybody to consign anything. It was all my stuff. I did get a few consignments just because they, when I told some friends that I'm doing the show, they asked if they could put some pieces in, but yeah, most of it was like mine, so that's it. So sorry, Stanley, but no, nothing in the foreseeable future, unless people come out of the woodwork and want to give me pieces to do, What else we got here? So, and okay, everybody's, you're answering each other's questions. Excellent. Tom Kadzalowski, what's up, sir? Yes, sir. Thank you. And hashtag Star Wars it is. Comic Art Boston, checking in very late, though. I know. Comic Art Boston, it looks like you haven't done it yet. Enter hashtag Star Wars because Jeff Wedding will be giving a piece of art away from his Star Wars collection in the not too distant next little while tonight, this evening on this show. Okay. Scan through very quickly, very eclectic and interesting artwork. Exactly. Tonight, like I said, it was going to be the eclectic collection of NSNart. So, happy to see you here. Very good, Scott. Entering twice does not get you two raffle tickets. Just so you know, the software can recognize it and disregards it. Chuck Arnold puts it in. Okay, excellent. Hiya Cab. Okay, excellent, guys. Thank you very much. And now that we've done that, let us move on with the show and get to the next piece of art in Mike's collection. And for that, we are back to the world of Preacher. So what do you got to tell us about this particular Preacher page, Mike? It's number 63, page 8 by Steve Dillon, who passed away a few years ago, very sadly. This is from the year 2000.
So I picked this page to highlight
emotion.
The emotion on the page. Jesse's reading Tulip, a poem, which is very emotional, and then she reacts to it. And this is just one of my favorite pages from all of the pages that I have. I know that it's probably too small for everybody viewing on YouTube to read it. I'm not going to read it for you. This isn't a dramatic reading, but go check it out on Comic Art Fans.
Yeah,
it's a great page.
Use the link below, everybody. You can check it out right now if you want to. Open it up in a different tab or different window, and you can check it out now at the same time if you want to. Yeah, it's very nice. I always say, I'm also all about emotion in comics, right? Emotional stories. And so when it comes to original art, I absolutely love to pick up whenever possible pages where, it's just talking heads, characters talking to each other in very emotional scenes. Yeah, I'm very, very much about that.
Yeah, I mean, and having the word balloons on this page, makes it. Without the word balloons, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be as attached to the page if it didn't have word balloons.
Right. That makes total sense for sure. That's the thing about pages, with emotion. Oftentimes, it's the actual words that you read that are so gripping, right, and
Right.
emotional, and that's why it's important to have the words there. I'm very happy that I put a piece of Mike Perkins art in my collection a couple of years back from the Lois Lane series he did with Greg Rucka, and it was just a page of Lois Lane. It's a special issue focusing on her father's death, and they went to a bar, to have the wake or whatever.
Right.
And the whole page is just basically her and Clark Kent. She's kind of just sitting there at the bar looking at this photograph of her and her dad or whatever, and she's got a drink in front of her, and all issue long she hasn't cried throughout the funeral, nothing. And then finally you look down the page, and like often happens in real life, the emotion just finally hits you, and out of the blue she just breaks down, and Clark embraces her or whatever. And of course, being a modern comic, there's no words. Although truthfully, I don't remember if on that page there were any words. If there were, there was probably very few. But even if there were words, I guess my point is just to say, in my case, I can live with it. It's
right.
The storytelling tells you. You can see the visual emotion on the page is more than enough. It just grips at you. And that's what it's like. It's like, yeah, you don't need the words in that case to know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, fantastic stuff, man. Before we jump to the next one, let me just quickly. Bye, honey. You're leaving. Okay. Good night. CJ likes the freeform panels. Yes, it's a very, very lovely page. And Steve Dillon was always an excellent artist. Speaking of Mike Perkins, which I just did a second ago, he loved Steve Dillon, one of his top artistic heroes of all time, by the way. You wouldn't think that, given his style, his approach to art is completely different, but was gutted. When I was the one who revealed the news to him, I said, "Hey, did you hear Steve Dillon passed away?" And he heard it from me first, and he was gutted. Steve Dillon was very much of almost a mentor of sorts, to Mike Perkins. Love this stuff. So, okay, so I am, aren't I? I am Comic Art Boston, and Rick knows what page I'm talking about exactly. Yeah. That's why I always keep it on my CAF gallery in the what do you call it? The featured, whatever, the top
page,
12 or whatever. Yeah. I just like to keep it there because I just like to see it as soon as I go to my gallery. Wordless words, great artwork. Yeah, and that's when the artwork becomes so important. Absolutely. I guess she's not winning that page. I don't know who are you referring to. Who are you referring to, Marcus? Who's not winning what page? Nobody's definitely winning that preacher page, that's for sure. But okay, let us jump back in, guys and gals. Yes, okay. So here we go. Talk about something esoteric. This is really cool. An artist most of you, I guess, probably have not heard of before. And check this out. So this is called Two Spies, and this was created in conjunction with the artist Marco Gaglione. I guess you say it like that. Does he say it differently, Mike?
I just call him Marco. I'll just go with that.
All right, we'll leave it there. I'll say Marco Guaglioni. I don't know, but yeah, in conjunction together with you, right, Mike? You got together on this as a project.
Yeah, I mean, I called it Two Spies. I think honestly, because of a comment that Marcus made on the art when I posted it on CAF. It really doesn't have a name, but it's as good a name as any.
Okay.
So with Marco, you can't see it a lot here, but the reason I first fell in love with his art is he puts these hard right angles into his pieces, like the girl in the back, her shoulder.
Okay.
You see, but he does it so well that it doesn't stand out. It doesn't jar your eye. It works so good with what he does.
Yeah.
And that is the deck hanging behind Mike. I'm using Ruben's show as a shameless plug.
Yes, and actually, Mike, is it sort of hooked up, or are you able to bring it to the camera?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
No, it's just hanging there.
Okay, because if you can get it, I'll take off the slide, and yeah, you can show it to everybody here live. It'll look cooler that way. Here we go. And hold on, let me make this bigger here. Actually, hold on. Let me do this. And
that works.
There we go.
Yeah,
check it out. Wow, he sure didn't. He wasn't shy about putting his initials gigantic.
Hey, he's the artist.
Yeah.
So that's his. If you go on Instagram or
MG Curves is what he uses.
MG Curves is his name. Again, he's an artist that does a lot of.
Show me again. Go down slowly. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's really nice.
He likes drawing models of the adult entertainment industry.
Oh really?
So again, he gets labeled. He does that kind of art, so people just pass him over. But
yeah, that's very cool. Wow.
I mean, he's just awesome.
Yeah, that's really neat. And I just want to know. We should let everybody know. So earlier on in this episode, for those who were here at the time, I mentioned that the third link down below in the description of this video, the third link under Mike's name, aside from his website and his CAF gallery, is for a direct link to his YouTube channel, which is actually, in fact, I made sure I gave you a direct link to the actual video. It's a 1-minute video. So, feel free to open it up in a different tab or window right now if you want. It's only a 1-minute video, and it's a promotional video about the skateboard deck,
right?
Which is really cool to see. And also, another reason why it's good to have Mike's NSNart.com website URL down below is because for those of you who are into that sort of thing, or maybe just skateboard fanatics or what have you, he sells them on his. You can buy the decks on his website, and I believe if you look at the video, it'll say limited to 100. Is that right, Mike?
There's 100 of them, and then they're all burned with a wood burner, 1 through 100.
Oh, cool!
And then in I think 2 of them, I took some sketches that I had from Marco, and I just stuck them in there. Oh. So, chance to get original art.
Yeah, wow, that's a very, very cool thing, man. Wow, yeah. So check that out on nsnart.com, guys. It's a pretty cool thing. Before I jump ahead, yes, I want to get back to you, Marcus. That's what I thought you might be saying, Marcus. Yes, Mrs. DaCollector is not going to be winning the Star Wars page because she's going to bed. But in fairness, I also think that Mrs. DaCollector did not enter # Star Wars. So it's all good, It's all good. Let me see. So yes, Marco Sneejberg. Yes. Not seeing a lot of hard right angles. Spy interrogation. I'm sure you'd like to be interrogating them, the Rickster. I know that. Such modesty. Yes, exactly. Hey, got a split wall. Oh, yeah, cool. Sounds good. 2 minutes ago. I hope you're still here to see us say bye, Mikhail. But yeah, Check you later, man. Thank you again for stopping in, as always. Comic Art Boston is dropping some interesting factoid here. James Seam, I don't know who that is, has a cool toilet seat museum. You mean different types of toilet seats, or you mean like paintings on toilet seats, Comic Art Boston?
He probably means the lid.
Just the lids, the toilet lids. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I don't collect toilet seats.
But he says it's cool. It's cool. I wouldn't think it's cool, but if you say it's cool, I'm taking your word for it, for sure. Oh, and so what are you saying now? What does this mean? Isotope in San Francisco? Okay, there you go. If anybody's in the area, check it out. I'll look it up online first, I guess. And CJ, she entered hashtag Rubén go for 4 hours show. Yeah, nice. So real quick, yes, that's what I figured you meant, Comic Art Boston. Thank you. It's a store in San Francisco. So check that out, everybody. Check that out. Isotope, the name of the store. And yeah, it looks like Marcus is familiar with it. He knows it's a store name. Oh, okay. So it's Isotope Comics, and he's a nice guy. Okay, thank you. Very cool. Okay, so everyone, let me just see where we are with the art. Okay, so very good. Before we head on to the next piece, everyone, what we're going to do now is we are finally, yes, what you've all been waiting for. We are going to have the Jeffster come back in. And here's that lovely man himself. What is up, Jeff? And we are going to be doing the giveaway. So, yeah, for those of you who came really, really late into this chat and tuned into the show really late.
Those who showed up just moments ago.
Yeah, just might as well just give one quick reminder again. First, let me let you know once more, our lovely friend Jeff here will be showing up with our lovely friend Kavi H on Kavi's channel, Comic Books NYC, here on YouTube. All right, Comic Books NYC. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, to do an original art hang. I guess they're going to be showing artwork, and it's Star Wars related because both, of course, Kavi and Jeff are big-time Star Wars fans. Here we go. And they're going to be doing it together with artist Eric Fidel. And once again, as Jeff did last Thursday and last Friday, he gave away a piece of original Star Wars art from his collection out of the goodness of his heart, simply because he likes to share the wealth and because that's his part of his way of how he celebrates Star Wars month. Not just Star Wars is just not the 4th day of May every year, everyone.
Not anymore.
According to Jeff, it's the entire month. Yeah, so check that out tomorrow, everybody. But in the meantime, tonight, right now, we are going to give away another piece from Jeff's collection, or I should say he's going to give it away because it is all his. And here, let me show it to you. So for those of you who haven't done so yet, please take a look at this. And if you want to win this page for free right now in the next couple of minutes, okay, it's a page, and it is by Ivan Coelho, original blue pencils, okay? It's not printed. It's not blue line, right? It's original. It's blue graphite, beautiful blue pencils from Star Wars Night Errant Deluge #2, page 16 from 2011. So 12 dozen years ago already. Beautiful action outer space scene. You can win this simply by entering the hashtag Star Wars. So put hashtag Star Wars all together. All right, I might as well just put it one last time on the ticker. You'll see it scrolling at the bottom, the instructions for that in a second here. All right, so you want free original art? Enter hashtag Star Wars. That's it. And yeah, you got to be here to win. So we're going to draw this in the next few seconds. We're going to give you guys another, I don't know, 10 or 20 seconds to enter hashtag Star Wars into the chat. That's all you have to do. And then the software will collect all the names. And then I will share my screen and to show you how the draw is done. And you will see how it's done. And you'll get to see live who gets to win the original art. So right now we have 26 entries. And we're at 24 viewers. We've lost a few viewers, but that's cool. We're back to 25, so that's cool. A couple of 2 or 3 guys keep jumping in and out, so that's fine. Jeff, is there anything else you would like to add, since it is your artwork, and maybe say a little bit about? I mean, I have already kind of said it, but about what you really do and why you do this in your own work.
So May is becoming Star Wars month. It started out as just May the 4th with the play off the May the Force be with you saying. But now with all the attention to it, and particularly coming from the costuming groups, the 1st of May, 501, is now the Stormtrooper holiday for the 501st. Some of us are enjoying Return to the 5th and making it a Star Wars bourbon holiday. Yeah, because who doesn't need a 5th size bottle, when you're reading your favorite comics or looking at art? Yeah. Revenge of the 6th. I mean, everyone's making up all sorts of great puns and plays on the dates. So in honor of that, last year, I did some art giveaways and doing it again this year. It's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So for 40 years, I picked 4 pieces this year. And this is the 3rd. And you already recounted. Did one Thursday, did one Friday, doing one more tomorrow with Kavi over on his channel. And just sharing the excitement of collecting and just giving back to the community a bit. So,
and that's very wonderful of you. And I think the community thanks you. I certainly do. Yeah, that's great of you, man. So doing nice things for good people. And yeah, man, you're doing your part to bring the community together and show that it really is a really fun place to be. If you want to be,
because if it's not fun, why are we doing it?
Oh, exactly. Exactly. But those of us who, and let's face it, we're a minority when you think about it, right? Those of us who socialize online, right? We're really a massive minority. And does that make sense? Is that a double negative? But we're truly a minority, right?
Oxymoron.
Yeah, exactly. Because you think about it, right? I think we all know there's thousands of collectors out there, right? If you combine, published page collectors, commission only collectors, the guys and gals who collect both, right? I mean, there's thousands, right? There's thousands.
Right.
Yet on anybody's channel, it doesn't matter whether it's a Comic Art Live, mine, Nick, Kavi, whoever, right? In terms of the live portion, there's never more than a few dozen, right? And then when you look at it after a few weeks or whatever it's been, when you combine the rewind views, it's a few hundred, right? So no matter what, like, it really shows you that, wow, the amount of people that are in this hobby who are interested in art and are willing to be social about it and want to kind of meet other people and hang out with other people online. We are really a minority, aren't we? It's quite a small group.
Which means everyone's odds tonight are really good.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So there you go. We're going to do that now. And no, TJ, well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Ruben's hair, is it a Canadian perm? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you.
I wish I could still do a perm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm losing mine, so it's just like whatever. I'll do what I do what I can with what I have. It's basically what I'm left to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Hart wanted to point. I knew it. Jesse Custer kicks God's ass in October. He claimed earlier. Here he is. Check it out. He claimed earlier that October is Preacher Month. So yes, everybody, you guessed it, Mike at NSNart. He's coming back in October to give away his entire Preacher collection. How's that? He's going to be that nice. He's going to give it all away, one page at a time.
I am that nice.
See, that's what NSN, and I'm not even kidding, by the way, because I know a lot of you don't even know. NSNart, it stands for not so nice. So he will not be giving any of his feature art away. Of course, I'm lying. I'm being facetious, joking, whatever you want to call it. Yes. Okay, so before we do the draw, is there any last second things? Everybody, please make sure, if you haven't done so, enter hashtag Star Wars if you haven't done so. If you've already done it, don't do it again. It's not going to help you. My hair looks like Yondu. Yeah, thanks.
You just need to thin it up a little bit more.
Like I said, there's only so much I can do with it. It's so thin already, you know. And the more I touch it, the more it falls out into my hands, you know. Yeah. So, okay, everybody, I guess that should be good. So we're at 27 entries. Yeah. So we're roughly at about the number of viewers. So, all right, well, let's do this. I am going to go to the giveaway screen, and I'm going to share. I'm going to share that screen here. Let me see here. I haven't done a share screen in a while, everybody, so please bear with me. I haven't done it, I don't think, since last I don't know, August or something. Yeah, so hold on. So where is it? Should be, where is that? I thought it was like a share screen button, but let me see here. So general audio, this is crazy. Okay, this is embarrassing, but let me see, people. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves, because what the hell, man?
Want me to pick somebody at random? Oh, I got
it. Hold on, maybe they hit it. Hold on here. There we go. Sorry, thank you. Thank you for the for the patience, everyone. All right, so share screen. Here we go. Don't show
just proof that this is live.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, you know what? That's what I love about it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't care what we do. When we all get embarrassed, you know, from time to time, that's cool. I would not want to do this pre-recorded because I want to hang out with you all live. That's what makes this fun, right?
Exactly.
So there we go. Okay, so let me go to, what should I go to? The StreamYard too? Here we go. All right. So everybody, let me know if you are seeing the Star Wars screen.
We are indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm coming back to you guys now so I can see it. Yes. Ruben, you need a switcher. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to teach me about that, Scott. But I don't do this often enough to really, honestly, to really need it. But okay, so 27 entries, embarrasses live. You know, I try whenever I can, CJ. You know that. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to click the button. So you see I guess you see my pointer moving around in a circle around the draw button, right?
Just teasing everyone.
Okay, everybody, here we go. And we're off. Let's see. Round and round and round she goes. And who gets it? The Rickster knows!
Rick
wow.
Welch.
Hey, that's excellent. Congratulations, Rick. Awesome. And Rick's been a supporter of my channel since the very, very beginning. You know, I think he might have only missed like a couple of shows in the last 11 months. So, yeah, that makes it even more special. So thank you very much for participating, everybody. And I wanted to ask you,
and I
Jeff,
saw Rick commented a yay, so we know he's actually in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. Exactly.
He hung in for the draw.
Yeah. He never leaves early. He always hangs into the end. So I appreciate that, Rick. There we go. Let's put it up to make it official. Yay! That's all. That's awesome. Jeff, I didn't ask you earlier. I was gonna post on the screen. Hold on. Before I even say that, let me take the scroll. There we go. Take that off. I was gonna let Jeff know on screen how to contact you, but I forgot to ask you. Hey, maybe you don't want your email posted on screen. Do you want me to just have him do it? I'll give it to him privately afterwards. Is that better?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, we'll do that.
Or he can reach out to me through my Comic Art Fans Gallery. Either way.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
But I know you've got my info. So, Rick, if you want to get a hold of Rubén, he can put us together, and I'll get your mailing address, and I'll also get your preferred shipper, because I know that different folks have better luck with FedEx versus UPS versus USPS. So I will find the one that's easiest for you, and we'll get it in the mail sometime in the coming week.
Excellent. Excellent. So let me stop sharing here. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, well, it worked perfectly. So yeah, thank you. As Jeff said, Rickster, it's up to you. If you want to wait till after the show, at some point after the show, I can just email you his Jeff's email. Unless you're super excited that you're just gonna go to his calf gallery, which, by the way, you can reach, because it's right. The link to it is right inside the description below this video. It's included right there. So you can do it that way if you want. But either way, I'll email you later to give you his email, just in case you don't want to reach out to him too quickly. And
that's right. We'll get it figured out one way or the other.
Like a desperate comic art Star Wars winning collector.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, man. Hey, as always, you're awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you on my channel. It's always a thrill to have you hanging out, doing roundtables, whatever it is. Always a good time with you, man. And this time,
I enjoy it.
This time for a very nice thing and a great cause. Yeah. If we can just really quick, just before we say goodbye to Jeff and get back to the show and tell, I think it's very worthy. Jeff, do you want to remind, a lot of the new people came in?
Yeah. So anyone who wasn't around at the beginning of the show, Dan Parsons, longtime comic book artist. He's an inker. Although he also does pencils and stuff for his original books that he does. Found out recently that his 18-year-old daughter has cancer, and the family's doing a GoFundMe to help cover the chemo costs and stuff. Because, freelance artists, insurance and stuff usually isn't part of the gig. So, Rubens, well, yeah.
Which
in California, so.
Yeah. So there you go.
Anyway, so Rubens just dropped the link in the chat, and if folks have a couple bucks they could shoot that way, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, there you go. And it's like any other sort of charitable thing. I mean, $5, $10, if you can afford just a few bucks, even that, any little bit goes a long way.
That's right. That's the community fundraising approach, is everyone contributes a little to then make a big difference. So
that's it. Exactly.
Yep.
So there you go. For Dan Parsons' daughter, 18 years old only, with cancer. And I should mention, I don't have to, but it's really stunning, because when I read about it, it seems her older brother also was afflicted with cancer 10 years ago. So it's probably some kind of gene that gets passed on, and the kids all, are likely to get it. It's very sad, but that's the second child for Dan Parsons and his wife. To get
but hopefully treatment's going to go smoothly, and then recovery is going to be quick, and she'll get right back to her studies up there in Oregon. So
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything that you guys can contribute is very appreciated. So thank you very much, everybody.
Jeff, thanks again, Rubén.
No, don't worry.
I'm going to jump out because I'm excited to get back and see the end of Michael's interview and the rest of his art.
Sounds good. And thank you, by the way, Mike, for being so understanding about all the interruptions on your episode, because we had to do it a lot. So, way more than usual tonight, so I appreciate your patience with this all. Thanks.
So maybe sometimes nice.
Sometimes. That's what that stands for.
That's right. Well,
all right, Jeff.
You guys have fun. Talk to you all later.
Thanks, man.
And I'll see everyone else back in the chat.
Sounds good. I'll catch you in the chat, and then I'll catch you tomorrow on Kavi's channel.
Sounds good.
All right.
Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. All right, everybody. Yes. So let us now get back to the show. Thank you to everybody also as well. The live chat crew, as always, you guys kick ass. You're always awesome. And we're back near the high at 28 people. So thank you so much. Thank you for the patience, as always, especially tonight. Like as I just mentioned to Mike, a lot more sort of promos and things that we had to do tonight. And so I know that can get kind of annoying sometimes on these types of channels. I just felt they're all for good causes, so we needed to do them. So thank you, everybody, for your patience. And to those of you watching on Rewind, especially, thankfully, you Rewind watchers can fast forward the parts that you don't want to see. So that's the advantage for you. But yeah, let's hop right back into Mike's eclectic, esoteric collection of art here. And when we last left off, let me remind you, we left off with this beautiful piece that Mike did together in conjunction with Marco Guaglione.
He did most of the work, to be fair.
Okay, to be fair, we'll give him credit. But the what I meant in terms of doing it in conjunction was just to say that it's a project that Mike and Marco did together so that they could publish this on a skateboard deck, which you see there on the right-hand side, and which earlier Mike showed live in front of camera. And for anybody interested, Mike, I think it's worthy because it's beautiful. And I don't know if we have skateboard fans, in the audience, but we may have esoteric art fans, even if they're not skateboard fans. Are you willing to maybe quickly grab the deck again and show us the deck in front of the camera? Because you get to see both sides, and there's color on one side, and it makes it a lot cooler. Let me show you. There we go. So that's the artwork you guys just saw, right?
Yeah. The bottom of it.
Bottom of the deck, and then the top of the deck.
And then you can see this is number 27 of 100.
Limited to only 100 decks, guys. Yeah. Very, very cool.
So I've done in the past, I'm not an artist, but I do have a creative bent, as you can see, like with the Rollins commission. But, I've put out challenge coins before.
Okay.
Limited to 100. I've done an art book, T-shirts, just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
So
very cool.
Well, and I've got another, if anybody's familiar with Linnea Strid, who did this, also another music-inspired piece.
That's cool, man. Wow. Great looking.
I've got a project in works with her that should be out sometime this year. Again, It will be limited to 100.
Oh, cool. Very cool. For those of you who weren't here earlier, as always, I just want to give a reminder that not only is the direct link to Mike's calf gallery, where you can see all this art, especially in addition to the one that he literally just posted, he just put up in front of the camera. You can see the link in his calf gallery. You can see the link to his website, nsnart.com, and also a direct link to his YouTube channel. It's actually a direct link to a 1-minute video that is a promotional video for his skateboard deck project that we just showed you. So check that out. You don't have to go searching for it because the links are right below here in the description. All right. Very, very cool. And CJ says, it's diversified brilliance of illustration. Well, I like how you put that one. Marcus says, Mike likes to grind with these two. Yeah, those two hotties, the two spies. Who wouldn't? Hotsy totsy. Nice. Yeah. So there we go. So the reason I wanted to recap that piece, everybody, is because my next piece is by the same artist. I wanted to show you the different type of stuff that he does.
Is it this one?
Actually, hold on. Let me see what I put. Let me see what I ended up putting in. It's your most recent one. Yes. So let me show it first, and then you can show it after. Okay. So here we go, guys. So this is about as mainstream as Mike is going to get with a character like X23 sitting on the open palm, smashed up hand of a sentinel. To me, I don't know. You guys can tell me in the chat. To me, it makes me think of a lot of the different types of graffiti type styles that I've seen over the years, where like sometimes graffiti guys do these large murals on brick walls and such. The vibrant colors. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's really cool, and you can see it's compared to the artwork for the skateboard deck. Quite a different approach as well, you know. And here, okay, we got Hart saying dynamite and 180-degree thigh gap. Nice. Rick says the colors.
That's his specialty.
Yeah, that's his specialty, right? Well, like you did say, you did mention who he likes to draw.
And Dynamite, if they need a cover artist, I know a guy.
And there you go, Nicky B. I don't know, he's not here right now, but you might have to email Nicky B yourself and let him know. Yeah, so airbrushed look, exactly, CJ, pretty much that. And let me come back to you, Mike, so that you can show us the original in front. There we go, because the colors are different when we see it like this, non-scanned. Yeah, a lot more subtle, vibrant, but more subtle, so they're not super glowy as on the scan, you know, when you scan it. Yeah, I like it better like this, actually. Much nicer, yeah.
And it's it's not airbrushed. It's some, I forget the kind of markers. You know, he said what they were on his Instagram. So,
okay,
you know, if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's always doing work in progress shots of all of this stuff.
Okay, and yeah, his name, if you want to catch him, because I guess you could search him by name, Marco well, it's spelled Guaglione. Yeah. So
I'm not even gonna attempt it.
Not gonna try it. Do you Mike, do you even know offhand what he goes by on Insta?
MG Curves.
Oh, okay. That's
MG,
easier.
His initials and then curves because of
the curves he draws.
Matter.
Yeah, MG Curves, everybody, on Instagram if you want to check that out. Yeah, very, very cool. And yeah, Copic. I don't know if is that Copic?
No, again, I mean, I can look on Instagram if I could find it, but he mentioned the name of the markers, but I can't remember what they are.
Yeah, no worries. You can all reach out to him at MG Curves on Instagram and ask him yourselves, and I'm sure he'll tell you what he uses. Yeah, so excellent. So, okay, excellent. Everybody, from there, I figured, why not? Let's make it a threesome tonight. With the subject matter in hand, why not get into a threesome? And I put it in this order specifically because I wanted to sort of jump backwards now and show you that this third piece is actually done 5 years ago. And this one you will recognize much more as similarly styled to the artwork for the skateboard deck. Yeah, and it's really cool. And again, it looks like Mike has a thing for X23 apparently. But yeah, it's beautiful. So let's check this one out. Love it. I love that face, man. I love the expression on the face. Like that's just that makes it for me, you know.
And really, so let me explain the X23 thing is. Okay. I'm one of Marco's. I'm his patron on Patreon or whatever you want to call it. So every 3 months I get a commission, and I wanted to get something that would possibly hold its value. Like knowing my collection, I'd probably get some weird thing that nobody's going to buy. So I figure, I'll get X23 because that has a mass appeal. Yeah, and that's really about it.
I got you. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And do you know how he did this one exactly?
I couldn't tell you.
You don't know? No. Okay.
I mean, it's mostly pencil.
Yeah.
But again, you see her shoulders, how they're square.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really notice that when you're looking at the piece.
No, because that's not where your eyes go immediately, right?
That's true. But I mean, that's what I like about him. He has those hard edges, but they work with his style.
Yeah, yeah. But typically it's the shoulder, it seems, and then other than that, he's really into the curves.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Yeah.
So like if you follow him on Twitter, he's gonna retweet some stuff that you may not want in your feed. So it's probably better just to follow him on Instagram.
You know, CJ, I got to tell you, I also thought the same thing when I saw her face. I was like, hey, I could see a little bit of Belinda Carlisle in there, done up kind of like a vampire-y looking, vamping it up, if you will. But that's probably just a coincidence. But yeah, Belinda always had that sort of rounder, wider, rounder face, right? So that's kind of what does it. But yeah, very, very cool. And the white paint definitely does pop. Yeah, and I just love the effect of the super shiny. I guess it's not leather. It would. What's the
latex?
The latex. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really, really cool effect. Yeah, love it. Mr. Easy Go Lucky. It looks like it. Gray Canson paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah, CJ tone paper, exactly. Yeah, I love pieces that are done on, and I keep saying this on my show many times. I've said it. I wish more commission artists would work on this colored toned paper. It has such a great look, MG shoulder blocks. Yeah, special to him only. Patent pending. Those curves hit you like a hammer. Stop. Hammer time. Yeah, and yes, Rickster. That's the other one I was thinking of. I was like, again, I didn't want to say it because I'm thinking, you guys, I don't know. I'm probably the only one. You guys are going to be probably like, what are you talking about? But I'm glad there's two of you who saw both of the famous people that came to mind. That's awesome. Wow. So who knows if the three of us saw those two famous ladies, who knows? Marco may have taken an influence from at least one of them. It's possible. So yeah, or CJ, as CJ says, or some famous blonde porn star. You never know. You never know. You were thinking Joan Jett? Nah, that's not Joan Jett. No way. Certainly not in the cleavage area. That's for sure. But all right, everybody, let us move on to the next one. And for this, we are going to go back to the more esoteric nature of Mike's collection, and we're going with another Tom Hobbs Holbrick piece. For those of you who just need the quick reminder, that's the artist who had done this piece. Or I should say these pieces, because they are two separate pieces. The girl and guy and girl pieces, which were really, really, really cool. And let me go back and bring up this one. Yeah. So this is from La Dubla sketchbook from a story entitled Last Thoughts, and this is the page 5, and pretty cool. I think this is the first time in all the 10 or 11 months I've been doing the show, Mike, that I actually bothered to put all three, the prelim and finished ink piece and published piece, on the same slide. So yeah, you're welcome.
Yep, thanks.
Like I did you such a huge favor,
Yeah, I know. I'm beside myself. But yeah, so I bought this story off of Tom, and then I don't know how long, several months, a year, a couple of years later, I bought a t-shirt or something off of him, and in that span he found the roughs and he sent them to me, which was awesome. I mean, I'm still grateful for him for just thinking of that and sending those to me.
Yeah.
The reason why I like this story so much is it's this guy, this astronaut, going on this adventure and fighting this, alien and all that. But if you read the text, he's just thinking about a girl. And that's what I love about the story.
Oh, and you mean in this moment, he's just thinking about a girl?
Yeah. If you read the text up there,
maybe
the whole story, he's just thinking about a girl.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
but hopefully that's not what he sees on this planet as his version of a girl.
No. He's thinking about her before he comes across this creature.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I have all the published pages in my calf if you want to read it. It's an incredible story. I pulled these out if you want to.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, let me.
So these are just little small. I don't know how big these are. What, like
that's
8 by
cool.
6 maybe?
Yeah.
Or 6 by 8.
6 by 8, yeah. They're pretty neat, yeah.
But
that's really cool. Yeah, show them all to us, yeah.
You don't want to see them all. It'll take forever.
Well, I thought you said there was only a 5-page story.
5 or 8. I don't know.
Okay.
Counting's not my strong suit.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, that's pretty neat, man.
So
Yeah.
see, they're traveling. You can see he's thinking about the girl here before he gets to the monster. But they're all in my calf.
Okay.
It's an awesome story.
Very cool. Oh, that's a neat one, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was tough to figure out which one to send. That one's cool.
Right. Yeah, I mean they're all pretty cool, right? So it's kind of like, well, if you're only going to show one representative example, which one do you show? I guess anyone would have been pretty good. So
right,
you can't go wrong, you know.
So again, go read the story. It's 6 or 8 pages in my calf. It won't take you more than a minute.
There you go.
Depending on your internet speed.
Yes, and the link's right below, everybody. The link's right below as always.
All right, down there.
Let me see. Okay. All right, everyone. From there, let us go and jump forward in time to, or maybe it's backward. I don't know by the date. Yeah, backward maybe. But we're jumping towards mainstream. Mainstream. Wow. Those of you waiting for mainstream, you're gonna get mainstream all of a sudden. Check this out.
What's it? Oh,
Legends of the Dark Knight, number 191, cover art by Cliff Chang from all the way back in 2005. No Batman, but you got the kick-ass Mr. Freeze, the cold burn of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the look on Mr. Freeze's face. That's why I got it.
Emotion.
I was lucky enough to get it.
Yeah, it's cool. I love the design too. Yeah, it's the you know, it's funny because if you look at it, right, we know that obviously it's flames, right, coming up from the bottom, but when you focus on the blacks at the top and you just follow with your eye downward, it looks like this sort of creepy, almost like Venom symbiote type tendril stuff hanging down if you focus on the blacks, right?
Right.
And leave the white as the negative space, and so yeah, it's just cool how it looks like the white flames go up and sort of like here. Let me get this off just so I can kind of explain what I'm talking about. It's like two hands as they join, right? It's the two pieces coming together and forming like that. So it's a really kick-ass design. So simple but very, very, very effective, you know. And gotta love Freeze, yes. And like Rick says, yeah, it's a cool graphic image, very graphic. That's what I love about it. Yeah. Marcus says Tiki Voodoo. It looks like Tiki Voodoo. Okay. Great graphic, Jen. Yeah, see, there's the word graphic, very graphic, right? Being bandied about. So, and Jeff says that the black and white original could almost be Eddie on an Iron Maiden cover. That's cool. Like fanged jaw.
It's fun. I do have a Iron Maiden themed commission in work right now.
Oh, cool. Nice. So I guess you're a Maiden fan. Yeah,
well, the Number of the Beast album is awesome.
So that's a classic, right? I can't call myself an Iron Maiden fan. But who doesn't love that stuff? At least people who are our age, who are into popular music. Wow, that was like yeah. I mean, just for that album alone, like wow, yeah. Man, I still go on YouTube fairly regularly and tune into some of the videos that they have for those songs. You know, Yeah, it's yeah, classic stuff. So that's cool. And can I ask, not to ruin your surprise, but can I ask, are you willing to let us know if the art project you have in the works, does it relate to that album?
It's an homage to that album cover.
Oh, okay, cool.
Replacing the characters with some other characters.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. I look forward to seeing it. Any idea when you might have that done, or?
It should be within a month or so. I mean,
Okay.
I've got he sent me the layout rough. And I'll tell you that you will never in a million years, when you see it, you'll go, I would never have thought that he would choose that. So I'll
really?
just leave it at that.
Okay.
I could tell you offline, but I don't want to say it right now.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I'd rather be a surprise too, you know? Yeah. So that's okay. The Hart says the Tame of Land is a fave maiden song of his. And I always look forward to the next album art theme for Eddie. Yeah, exactly. That was back in the day.
If you're an art fan, those covers were just awesome.
Yeah. Imagine if you were an art fan and a music fan, it was to see that stuff was like, wow, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like number one Marvel fan says, right? You'd be in a record store and you'd be blown away by, looking at their back catalog and all these covers and then a new Iron Maiden. Even if you weren't a fan, you would still want to see, the new Maiden album is out. Let's see what the artwork looks like on the front,
It sure beats looking at men in leather with long blonde hair. Like, unless you like that, I don't.
Well, I didn't mind. I liked a lot of that.
Probably not have me so large on the screen now. I'm sure everybody's sick of that.
Are you feeling? Were you feeling a little? I don't know. Like it's too much.
Yeah, I'm like looking right at myself. It's like more than a man can bear.
Awesome. No worries. We'll keep it like this for the duration. How's that?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody. Let us jump into the next piece. And for this next piece, we are sticking with esoteric, but it was a piece that I really loved when Mike showed it to me. I was like, wow, I just love the style. I love this guy's style. Check this out. This is not even comics. I don't know what this is. Mike will tell us, I guess. Check this out.
It's comics?
Is it comics? Okay, because it looks more like it reminds me, not only because of the artwork, but the typography. It reminds me of like it might be a magazine of the kind of New Yorker or that
right,
kind
right.
Of, yeah. That's why I thought, okay, it's probably not comic related, and plus with a title like Extravagant Traveler. I don't know. It didn't scream comics to me, but yeah.
Once again, you can read this entire story in my calf.
Oh, okay.
Because I was lucky enough to get the book from Jeremy. I don't know. It's just.
I love the art.
I don't know if you're seeing a trend here of when I like an artist, I go for their art.
Yeah.
I'm not really a one and done type collector.
Yeah.
And luckily, most of the guys I like are not whoever that guy was, the X-Men guy you mentioned earlier. Whatever. They're not that guy. These pages are cheap enough where you can buy a book and on my budget.
Right. Yeah, but there's nothing better when you like a type of art and it's way cheaper than superhero art. There's nothing better than that, right?
Right. I mean, so I tried to give you a variety of pieces, but I ended up sending you like 3 from Marco, 3 from Jeremy, 3 or 4 from Tom Holbrick. It's
that's great. I love it. It was it gave a good idea, a good sense of the kind of stuff, well-rounded sense of what the kind of stuff that's in your collection. So, and it's especially, again, as I mentioned earlier in the show, especially for those people who kind of associate your name with being, yeah, that preacher guy, right? The guy who's in the preacher or whatever, right? Hey, Ian, good to see you, man. So let me come back to you, and so you can show us that live. There we go. And here, I'll make you big again just because it's easier. That way we can see you more.
So that's the self-published book from Jeremy, and then there's the cover.
Oh, very nice.
And then, yeah.
That's lovely, man. Yeah, very nice.
There's the rest of the book.
Oh, wow. You got the complete book?
Complete book. Yep.
Cool.
Man, I'm just so lucky to have that book. I just love it. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully people go out and they buy some stuff from Jeremy, buy some stuff from Tom, hit up Marco for a commission.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of,
and it won't break your bank.
Yeah, a lot of commission collectors out there. So hopefully some of them that are going to end up watching this either now or later on Rewind. Hopefully they watch all the way through and they hit this part and hear you say that, because yeah, there's some really cool ideas. Like I could imagine done for commissions with like even if it's a guy, even if it's a collector who's into mainstream primarily, let's say mainstream superheroes. If I was a commission collector, I would reach out to somebody like I was gonna say this guy, but most of the guys who you have art from in your collection, and if they do collections, I would reach out and say, hey, I know this is not normally what you draw, but would you be willing to do a commission of, I don't know, these characters, even if they're mainstream,
Right. Yeah.
Just to see mainstream characters drawn in very non-mainstream styles, Yeah.
I mean, back when I was doing my Preacher cover commissions, Tom Holbrick did a cover for me.
Okay.
So I was lucky to get, cool. And is
that in your gallery?
An awesome job. What's that?
Is that in your gallery too?
Yeah, it's in my gallery.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to go for that. I check that out because I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, he did an amazing job on that.
CJ says, great pride and passion. Love it. You see, there's going to be people. Not everybody was going to run away in droves. All the early stuff I love, peace of mind. Okay, you're okay. The first I recall seeing on shirts, you're talking about the still amazing stuff. All right. So let us jump from there, everybody, to it's more mainstream. And with that, we go to this really wicked. I love the art on this page. And yeah, Frank Terran, who most people I think know from his run on Punisher, because it was much more mainstream. So Frank Terran did a run Punisher, but yeah, Hellblazer here. And I actually love this way more than what he did on Punisher. This is really beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah, I looked at it as Punisher stuff. I really wasn't a fan. But obviously on here, I'm a big Hellblazer fan. So it fits. Yeah. And if anybody has a page from this issue, I would love to get it.
Is this the only one you have from the issue?
I have a couple.
You have a couple? Okay. Yeah, that's
I'd like a couple more.
I'm sure. Have you ever tried reaching out to him, finding him and asking if he still has?
I know he doesn't. He went through a stint on eBay where he was selling all of his art.
Okay. So he probably just got rid of all that old stuff by now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Top right panel. Yeah. Actually, I like them all. I love them all. I love Constantine, the look of him in that first panel, and I love his face in the bottom panel. I mean,
right.
This everything, the swirls, right? Like just the design overall, and it's really, really nice. And yeah, this is I can honestly say, not that anybody cares really, but I can honestly say this page is the nicest piece of art I've ever seen by Frank Terran. I was not, most of what I was familiar with was that Punisher stuff, and I was not really a big fan. But yeah, when you sent me this, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I couldn't believe I saw it was Terran's work,
He did a Batman story or maybe a run. I'm not really sure that his style really fit with that character also.
Batman?
On Batman, yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
And the reason I saw that, I remember Hart had a page. A Batman page.
Hart probably still has that page.
Yeah, I'm calling you out, Hart.
All right, Tom, good to see you again, my friend. Thank you for hanging out as long as you have. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a good night to you as well. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is beautiful. What can I say? Yeah, gorgeous page. So, okay, from there we stick with the same theme, and we're going to show you a page from the comic that spawned that character in the page we just showed, and a really cool looking page. So I want you to tell us all a little bit about this one, because wow, sleeping in bed like this.
It's a pretty exciting page.
It's wild, man. It's wild. Check this out, everybody. So Swamp Thing by Dean Ormston, of all people, not the typical type of artist you would ever expect to draw this kind of a character, but it's so wild, man. That is so, it's like, what if Swamp Thing had always been created by Dean Ormston as an indie comic, very graphic. Of course, that's his style, but yeah, wild, man. And look, with Abby nude in the bed, like wild, man, wild. Talk to me. I'm talking too much.
Again, it's just about the characters. I mean, you can see their relationship, you know, and that how much they are in love, and that's why I love this page, because it's about the relationship between those two characters. You know, people often say on CAF they're bombarded with people asking about pages that they have, and I don't have a gallery like that. But coincidentally, somebody about a month ago asked about this page, and of course I told him, no, I can't sell it. Maybe check back in 10 or 15 years.
Oh, thanks for giving me hope, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of guy I am. I don't want to shut people down.
Oh, yeah, because that's not shutting them down. Yeah, come see me in 15 years.
I mean, I just, again, like the Preacher page earlier with Jesse and Tulip, and this is like that same feeling, especially that little inset panel of the close-up of their faces. This is the kind of page that I love it. I'm just happy that I was able to get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And do you mind sharing where you got it?
From Dean.
Okay. And I assume in this case, am I assuming correctly when I think that you got this one during the time that you represented him?
Probably not. I mean, before, because he too went through a phase where he was selling art on eBay.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that.
No, I remember Terran, but not Dean Ormston. Actually, I haven't really looked at eBay almost at all in the last 15 years. I stay away.
Yeah, I don't go through the pages, but I just have the search words through CAF is really the only time that I would find anything from there. But I don't really look on there.
Okay. Yeah, Rick's telling you that that's a keeper.
At least for 10 or 15 years.
10 or 15 years. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. I'm looking when I got it. I got it in May 11th of 2008, coming up on the anniversary.
Wow. 4 days away. 4 days away to the 15th anniversary.
Oh.
Look at that. There's that 15 again. Come check back with me in another 15, my friends.
In another 15. You talk to my daughter and see what she says.
Oh, then you got somebody else to deal with. That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool, man. Cool. Yeah, that's a beauty. Another beauty. Yeah, love that one. And okay, so next, everybody, we are going to stick in that Vertigo realm and do the final Preacher piece for tonight. And yeah, why don't you tell us about this one? Because I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty shocking image. Yeah, it's wow. I don't even know. Like missing half the heads are missing. I mean, it's
I mean that's typical Preacher for you.
Yeah.
But so this is actually the first original art that I ever bought back in, I think I got this in 96 or 97.
Oh, wow.
On eBay for, I don't mind saying that how much I got ripped off for. It was like 135 bucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a pricey page.
That actually was like, it wasn't cheap back then.
No, that was about the average. I mean,
Yeah.
That was,
I mean,
the average was like 125, 115, 125, but this being splashier, it went to like 135.
Yeah. And what I mean by that is to say, in 90, because you said 97 you got this, right?
Right.
Yeah, in 97, that was I think my first piece on eBay I got late 97. I was getting it was either late 97 or very early 98. I was getting like I remember Silver Age Justice League of America pages with good content, character content, for like 75 bucks from 1968. Marvel's Hercules miniseries by Bob Layton, the splash page from one of the issues, $33. So
Right.
Well, you look at it that way, yeah, it goes to show Preacher was so well regarded because of the writing at that point already, right? That's like 125, 150, for something that was still fairly brand new at that time. Yeah, that's considered like, wow, that's not cheap,
Yeah, but I mean, it was my first page and from a book that I was reading. And again, everything was comparative to, $100 for a Preacher page for a story that I love, or whatever pages you were buying that meant nothing to me.
Yeah. I totally get it. Hart, I did have a lot more hair still in 1997, and I could have gotten a perm. And funny story. I once did get a perm in 91 or 92. You know why? Because I went to the hairdresser, and the woman, she was telling me, you have a little bit of a wave in your hair, like a natural wave. So that would be perfect. Like if we just permed your hair and give it more, curve it more. And I'm like, really? Because I don't think that sounds good at all. And I took the chance. And oh my God. First of all, let me tell you, it wasn't her who did it. They handed me over to this guy who did it. And all I can remember, and I don't know if this was normal because it was the one and only time I ever permed my hair, but it was so painful. The process was so painful. He kept twisting my hair onto these plastic things. And it was so painful. I'm like, why is it hurting so much? And then later, when I finally went home, hours later, I'm touching my hair to see like, wow, my head's hurting. Why is it hurting? There was a bunch of bloody scabs on my head. So the guy had been pulling on the hair so much that he made me bleed. And then finally, it turned out like it was just this curly, disgusting mess it was a super curled hair. Like, what the hell is that? I had to wear like caps, baseball hats and stuff like all the time for like, it took months before it could work its way out, Oh,
as a rule, if a guy tells you next time it won't hurt so bad, that's a red flag.
You see, this is what the show's all about. We can reveal embarrassing things, whatever. Look, Hart's already laughing his ass off here. Whatever. These things happen. Like, what do you want? Yes, the 2-issue limit. In the fro, I don't know. It was kind of like a fro. It was bizarre. It was just the weirdest thing ever. Plus, it hurt. Yeah, whatever. Perm and porn star stash. Perm guy. Sounds awful. Mr. Easy Go Lucky, let me tell you. When have you ever had a hair thing, go and do your hair, and it's painful? Like, that shouldn't be happening, right? So, yeah, the pube head. Thank you. Thank you. You see, Mike, they'll always give as good as they get. So you can always feel free to joke about them and make fun of these guys. Fortunately, it wasn't permanent. Oh, sigh. Yeah. Thank you, Common Guard Boston. Ugh. Groan. That's like the biggest groan. All right. So everybody, I want you to know that is the last piece we have to show. And so before we call it an evening, let me just quickly, if you don't mind, one last time remind everyone. Well, this one, there's not as many because now it's the free giveaway is over, so I don't got to do that. But just to remind you that tomorrow, if any of you have time, the wonderful Jeff Wedding, who is in the audience right now, will be on Kavi H's channel on YouTube. That is Comic Books NYC. And it is here. They're going to do an art hang tomorrow. Kavi with Jeff Wedding and artist Eric Fidel. And it's going to be an original art showcase, I guess, about Star Wars art to celebrate Star Wars month in May. And once again, Jeff's going to be doing a live art giveaway. So tune into that if you can. That is going to be at 7 o'clock, by the way. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the same exact time that you usually are used to on Fridays for Nikki B's channel. And speaking of Nikki B, here he is again. Please tune in this Friday when he breaks up Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 7. And also at 7 p.m., 4 o'clock Pacific, he will be breaking up Amazing Spider-Man number 7 by Mark Bagley with some of the pages inked by Andrew Hennessy, some by John Dell. And just a quick recap of some of the pages. Check this out. Some of the pages that you'll be able to claim on this Friday show. Tons and tons of characters. Look at that. It's basically the entire Spider-Verse showing up on, throughout the book. Most of the pages. Look at this. This is a page I can see Paul P. buying. And so I'm going to see if he can tune into that. Look at this. DPS, double page spread, splash. So yeah, check that out if you can this Friday on Nikki B Show, as always. And let me see. Cheers to you again, as always. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate what you did in giving this giveaway away. Plan on hanging with NYC. Oh, you're going to be with Kavi tomorrow? Geeks and Drinks. Cool. Have fun, man. And let's see, that's you saying thank you to CJ. An interesting show tonight that widened many of our horizons. Many thanks, Mike. I told you, Mike. You see, there's going to be some people that appreciate it, man. And then he follows it up with, well, at least mine. Yeah, we can never speak for everybody else, right?
If we get to 1, that's all that matters.
There you go. Hey, I count too, though. Mike, I'll probably see you in person end of June. There you go, Hart. And yeah, man, I wish I lived closer to you guys. I wish I could see a bunch of you in person and hang out in person. Mine also, Cab. There we go. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of us who really appreciated it. There we go, Paul. Nice job, Mike. And thanks. All okay. You'll be okay. Excellent. And one last time, everyone. Artist Dan Parsons, his 18-year-old daughter has been stricken with cancer. This is not the time to be making jokes and laughing. The soul glow, yes, exactly. So 18-year-old, first year college, has been recently diagnosed with cancer. So I just wanted to remind everybody, if there's anything you can afford to donate, whether it's $5, $10, anything helps. I just wanted to let you all know that the family started a GoFundMe for her. Of course, in the United States, even if you have insurance, as I understand it, having cancer and going through cancer treatments is extremely expensive out of pocket. And so I am putting the link to the GoFundMe just in case anybody, there you go, anybody would like to donate anything is appreciated. And the family would greatly appreciate it as well also. So thank you. And if there's anything else, let me see. We've done Jeff, we did Nick. And of course, tune in. After you tune in tomorrow, then you tune in to Nick's on Friday. Come back here again next week when I will have John Nguyen, which is right here. And we're going to be doing another comic art show and tell. It is number 13. So tonight was an even dozen. Next week is the baker's dozen. And a lot of you may know John from CAF because he goes by JN80 on CAF. So that's why I put the AKA. That's next week at the usual time. And that's it, man. So, Mike, thank you. I'm glad we finally got a chance to do it. It's been a lot of fun, man. Anything else you want to push, promote again before we sign off, or no?
Nope. If you like what you saw here, there's dozens more of the same in my calf. Some people say I hoard art. I don't believe them. And that's it. I mean, I hope I was able to show everybody something that outside of the normal purview of what they're used to looking at.
And that was my point. That was my desire too, like I did with Mark Vega and some other guys. So yeah, that's what it's all about. Just sort of exposing ourselves to different things and appreciating different types of art, even if you don't want to collect it, So yeah, Marcus, next week is Mother's Day indeed. I will wish everyone's mother a happy Mother's Day on that day because I am, as you know, still doing the show next week. Listen, I did it on Christmas Day. I did it on New Year's Day. I don't think Mother's Day or Father's Day in June is going to stop me from doing a show. So, and if I was a betting man, and I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, Marcus, I would bet that I'll still see you here next week on Mother's Day as well. But thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, Comic Art Boston. Really appreciate you. Marcus is asking, is Mike Top Gun? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Because of the picture in the flight suit.
Oh, is it? Right. We didn't even cover that. Can you just quickly tell those of us who are still here what that's about?
So I used to be in the Marine Corps. I was a Huey crew chief. I was the guy, you get to sit in the back and shoot the guns at people.
Oh, so you don't know how to pilot the copter?
I'm not. Well, I have flown them.
Okay.
Unofficially, but
okay.
Yeah,
but that wasn't your role.
In the Marine Corps.
Okay. Yeah, you were the gunner on the helicopter.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Wow. We could have had another hour worth of stories about that probably. That's awesome. Okay. Well, there you go, Marcus. There you know. Yeah, and you thought he might be doing cosplay or something, right? Mr. Easy Go Lucky, thank you for the reminders to everybody. Please, hit the thumbs up if you can. Really appreciate it. Thank you as always, Mr. Easy Go Lucky, for reminding everybody. I really appreciate that from you as well. Fab Art from Jeff. Can't wait for Preacher-tober. Why is he in a flight suit? Well, we answered that in the thumbnail pic, right? The tail. Is that the correct name, Mike? No. Tail gunner? No.
Crew chief.
Crew chief. Okay, there you go. You see, Rick, you see what you did to me? Making me look like a fool. Come on, man. And you won. You won the art tonight. Look what you did to me after winning the art tonight. Okay. So he blows bubble gum. Yes, that's what he does. Hart, see you too, man. Thanks for tuning in. I knew you'd come in to support your boy tonight. And thank you as always for the support, regardless. Good to see you anytime, man. And no stolen valor, says Marcus. Okay. CJ, good to see you as always. Thank you for the support as always, man. Thank you very, very much. Take care for yourself as well. And Maki Poo as well. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it was great. I had a great time, and I'm glad you liked it too. I'll find out from Mike once we sign off here whether he really liked it. Yeah. Good night, Rick. Appreciate everybody. And I will leave you all with next week's thumbnail as I sign off, because that way, anybody watching on Rewind. And thank you again to all of those of you who watch on Rewind. Thank you very much. I will leave you with this. And good night. Good night to you. Good night to you, Marcus. Appreciate it. And no, can't cosplay military. That's a big, big no-no. So yeah, good night. Good night, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you next week.